News Talk 790 WPIC proudly presents Thiel Tomcat Football.
1, 2, 3, fight!
Thiel College Tomcat Football is brought to you by Seance's Motel, Restaurant, and Lounge. UPMC Horizon, life-changing medicine. Log on to upmc.com. Greenville Orthopedic Association. Greenville Moose Family Center, number 276. SCP Group, located in Sharon. Online at scpgroup.net for more information. Anderson Coach and Travel. Visit them online at goanderson.com. Thiel College Blue Gold Club, proudly supporting Thiel athletic programs since 1990. First National Bank, the home for all your financial solutions. St. Paul's, a continuing care community, providing a caring tradition since 1867. Visit St. Paul's online at lifeatstpauls.org. The Gallery Grill and the Greens of Greenville. Visit them online at greensofgreenville.com. ABI Fresh, proud food service provider for Thiel College. Partners ComDoc and the DocuCenter at Thiel College. Biddle & Company. Visit Biddle & Company online at biddle-co.com. And Ilsco Extrusions Incorporated. Ilsco has operated one of the industry's most efficient aluminum extrusion mills for more than 60 years. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu. You can listen to this game online at 790WPIC.com or listen on the go by downloading the free WPIC station app. Now, let's get to the field for our countdown to kickoff show with our game announcers, Hugh Ringer and Don Achenbach.
From Alumni Stadium on the campus of Thiel College in Greenville, Pennsylvania, it's time for 2015 Tomcat football on News Talk 790 WPIC. Good evening, everyone. It is a warm late summer evening at Alumni Stadium in Greenville. But football season it is. King football is back, and we are ready for the best Division III college football that you're going to hear anyway. Featuring the Thiel College Tomcats against their rivals from Meadville, Pennsylvania, the Gators of Allegheny College. I'm Hugh Ringer, and it'll be my pleasure to once again call the play-by-play action for Tomcat football in 2015. Don Achenbach, former Thiel tight end, former Thiel College vice president, and a Thiel supporter through and through, is standing to my left ready to bring you expert analysis all season long. It's the Cats against the Gators on a very warm night for college football. Well, Don Achenbach, it's great to have you mic side again. I know you're ready. I know I'm ready. Kurt Reiser said he's ready. The kids are excited, so let's get it on.
Boy, I'll tell you, I was out there watching them during pregame, and they are excited. They're just ready to hit somebody in a different uniform, I think, after a couple of tough weeks at camp. But, boy, Hugh, thanks. It's great to be back. You know, I always say the new year starts when the Tomcats take the field, so Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, the Cats are ready to go. They've gone back to the locker room after warming up. They don't need much warm-up tonight. The Gators are still out here under veteran coach Mark Matlack. We're going to take our first break, and we will be back with the President's Athletic Conference report. Some very interesting games involving packed teams. Non-conference variety played this afternoon. A couple more in addition to this one tonight. We'll bring you update on all of that. It's next here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Seance's Motel, located at 399 Mercer Road. Log on to seancesmotel.com or call 724-588-8550 for more information. Remember to ask for the Thiel discount. And UPMC Horizon, life-changing medicine. Log on to upmc.com. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more information about Thiel College, go to thiel.edu. Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Greenville Orthopedic Association and Doctors John Scullin and Stuart Anderson, specializing in the treatment of sports medicine, total joint surgery, and arthroscopic surgery. Call 800-245-8100 to make an appointment. And Greenville Moose Family Center, Lodge 276. Fun and fellowship for everyone. Log on to Lodge276mooseunits.org. For more information, go to thiel.edu.
Waldameer and Waterworld open Friday through Labor Day with a special offer. Buy one combo and get another for just $15 with a coupon from the newspaper or Waldameer.com. Save more than 50% on your second over 48-inch combo. This is your last chance to ride, slide, and brave the waves in the giant wave pool. Waterworld opens at 11 a.m., Waldameer at noon. So bring your newspaper or website coupon, buy one combo and get another of equal or lesser value for just $15. Plus, there's Fireworks Sunday. Remember, for fireworks and holidays, no alcohol is permitted, and everyone under 20 not with a parent must purchase a ride-a-rama before entering. Park closes Labor Day at 9 p.m. Promotion sponsored by WJET-TV and Fox 66. Details at Waldameer.com.
Catch a wave, catch a day at Waldameer. Your wet and wild summer getaway. Excitement waits for you at Waldameer. Waldameer in Erie, PA.
This is John Herrickle, defensive coordinator. You're listening to the home of Thiel College Tomcat football. News Talk 790 WPIC.
Welcome back to Alumni Stadium. Hugh Ringer and Don Achenbach. It's time for the President's Athletic Conference Report, normally presented so well by the Executive Director of the PAC, Joe Anderko, who is here tonight in the stadium covering this game for the entire conference. And since so many games, Don, were played this afternoon, we don't want to give them previews of things that have already taken place. So we'll do our own live pack report and maybe comment briefly on some of the games. Actually, this afternoon, Don, by my count, there were 8 football games involving PAC teams played in Division III.
I'm thinking a lot of water got consumed this afternoon, Hugh.
I'm sure it did, and there were some very interesting scores. And I'm going to start with probably the most impressive performance of any PAC team today. Thomas More, who Thiel plays in 2 weeks, always a power in this conference, was at home to face the number 15th ranked team in America in Division III college football preseason, St. John Fisher. Thomas More waxed them 48-0, Don. That's bad news for the entire conference in terms of playing Thomas More, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you what, in D3 football, St. John's Fishers is one of those holy names right up there with Mount Union and some of those other ones. They're a national semifinalist or quarterfinalist every year. And for Thomas More to do that to him, great for the PAC, not so great for the PAC teams.
And speaking of Mount Union, the Purple Raiders in Alliance, Ohio today hosted Bethany, Thiel's opponent next week. And Mount Union beat the Bison by a score of 47-0.
And unfortunately, that doesn't tell us anything about Bethany.
No, it doesn't, because Mount Union is so strong. Waynesburg went to New Concord, Ohio to play Muskingum today, and the Yellow Jackets come back with an impressive 35-10 victory.
They're going to be a team to watch, I think, in the PAC this year. They've been building for a couple of years, and I think they got some skilled people that are going to be back that are going to cause everybody some sleepless nights.
A team we watch every year, the presidents of Washington and Jefferson College. They went over to Mid-Ohio to play the Worcester Fighting Scots. The Scots were no match for W&J. 56-10 the final. The presidents win it.
You know, W&J is the bellwether of this conference. I mean, how they go is how the conference goes, and they're always tough to beat.
John Carroll is a perennial Division III power playoff team last year. They came to Latrobe and put it to St. Vincent. The Bearcats fall 26-3.
Yeah, St. Vincent was a team on the rise, but John Carroll, playoff team last year, must have some skilled people back too.
Case Western traveled to the Windy City of Chicago to take on Chicago University. Case loses by 1, a heartbreaker, 31-30.
And that's a team, Case, last year that the Tomcats had every opportunity to beat and didn't get it done, and it'll be interesting to see when they come down here this year.
Carnegie Mellon, now in the PAC, hit the road to St. Louis, Missouri, to face a former rival in an old conference, Washington of Missouri, and Washington beat the Tartans 45-24.
That's a long ways to go to get spanked.
Yes, it is.
You can see why they're in the PAC again. Good move for them.
And beginning his final year as head coach at Grove City College, Chris Smith and the Wolverines travel to Huntington, Pennsylvania to face Juniata. Thiel played them a couple of years ago in the opener out there. Juniata defeats Grove City this afternoon, 26-13.
Yeah, Grove City had one of those years you want to forget last year when they went completely winless. I doubt that that's going to happen this year because that's just I was going to say a franchise, but it's a program down there that's just not used to to that kind of failure.
That's for sure. In addition to our game here tonight, Dawn, 2 other conference teams play under the lights. Westminster, which may be a factor in this race this year, will be over at Hiram to face Hiram College, a team that has really been in the throes for a number of years. And Frostburg State comes to Geneva tonight to play the Tornado. So those are the other games tonight in the PAC, and we'll try to keep you updated on some of these scores. But it's time to take another break, and up next, it's our weekly conversation inside the huddle with head coach Kurt Reiser of the Thiel Tomcats, right here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Sin Coach and Travel. Proud to be the transportation provider for the Thiel Tomcats. Call 1-800-345-3435 or log on to goanderson.com. SCP Group, offering a wide selection of services including graphic design, offset and digital printing, wide format printing, mailing services, trade show materials, and digital marketing. Log on to scpgroup.net. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu. Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. TDA, Then Design Architecture. Proud to provide architectural and design services for Thiel College. Log on to thendesign.com. Eckley's TV and Appliance Center, located at 672 Mercer Road in Greenville. Call 724-588-7690 or log on to eckley'sappliance.com. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
Listen up. Are you ages 60, 61, 62, about ready to apply for Social Security? Not really sure when you should take it? You want to go to our website at leavealegacypresents.com. Leavealegacypresents.com and get this free report called 44 Social Security Secrets all baby boomers and millions of current recipients need to know. There's no cost for that. There's 567 ways to claim your benefits. You definitely want to get this report or call our toll-free number at 800-264-4963. That's 800-264-4963. Or go to our website, listen to this free webinar and getting the report called LeaveALegacyPresents.com.
I'm Ryan Matvico, wide receivers coach. You're listening to the home of Thiel Tomcat football, News Talk 790 WPIC.
Welcome to the first Tomcat football update of 2015. Before the Thiel Tomcat game, the home opener, the season opener with the Gators of Allegheny College. We're with head coach Kurt Reiser of the Thiel Tomcats. And Kurt, as you get ready to face your alma mater for the second year in a row in the kickoff game, it's been an eventful off season. A good 3 weeks of preparation leading up to tonight's opener with Allegheny.
Yeah, we've had a great preseason camp. The kids have worked extremely hard. It's been a hot one with the weather the way it's been, but no complaints from that standpoint. The kids have worked extremely hard. They've worked hard on the field and really worked hard in the classroom, too, trying to learn everything. We're an awfully young football team, so that was a big key for us. I think we got people in the right positions, and they just have to go out and execute tonight.
That's a great lead into my next question. You have on your depth chart 18 freshmen on your 2 deep, 6 on offense and 12 on defense. Now, some people would say, they're young and inexperienced, but I like the looks of this group. I think you have a real good group of frosh in here.
Oh, we're very excited about this freshman class. They've, in my 15 years here at Thiel, I think that this is one of the best freshman classes that we've had. And the great thing about them is they've really bonded and stuck together. And they've worked extremely hard to acclimate to what we're doing and to learn the offense, the defense, special teams. And they've meshed really well. So we couldn't be happier with our freshman class. They've really done a great job to this point.
Offensively, though, your club is led by two vested veterans, junior quarterback Ryan Radke, who has some big numbers on his resume already, and hopefully many more this year, and your offensive captain, Ronnie Howard, the senior, who I know you're so proud of, and he's ready to have a big season as well.
We're so happy for Ronnie, and for him to get to this point in his career and be a senior in our program is just outstanding. And he's a great young man, a great leader for our football team, and we expect big things from him offensively this year. And of course, everything for us starts with Ryan Radke at the quarterback position. He's played extremely well over the course of his career here at Thiel. Comes into his junior season as a highly touted quarterback, honorable mention last year as a sophomore. He's a tremendous athlete. We've said throughout the spring and in the preseason here that he's got to get better as a quarterback, and we think he's done that. He's doing a great job. So we're extremely pleased with both those guys.
You always want to run the football first and foremost, and you have a very young group of running backs, but a very promising group. And I believe that three of these freshmen all rushed for 1,000 or more yards as high school seniors. Two of them are at the top of your depth chart. Evan Imgren gets the start from Claysburg Kimmel High School, and then you have another freshman right behind him, Daly. Talk about them and the promise that they present, and probably the growing pains that they may have.
Well, both of them being transfers, they come in a little bit more mature than your typical freshman, so the acclimation for them was a little bit easier, I think, having gone through it at another place and that type of thing. So they have done outstanding work here in camp. They've picked the offense up very well. They run extremely hard, both on the interior and being able to get to the perimeter. We have good speed there that they can get on the edge and do some great things. Kevin Daly is a weapon in the pass game for us. I think he can run some routes for us and catch the football. So very happy with both of those guys, and we have a number of other talented young freshman guys at the tailback position that are very good athletes. So we're very pleased with that position.
Your defense is a young group. You have 4 returning starters led by the redoubtable Riley Shane, who you think can be dominant at defensive end.
I think Riley Shane can be an extremely dominant player in this conference. I expect him to have a great year this year. And the same with him. We've talked with him about being a more consistent player on a down-by-down basis. We have seen absolute flashes of brilliance from him throughout his career here. We just want to see more of it on an every down basis. And, he did a great job this summer of trimming down, lost a bunch of weight. He's faster than he's ever been. So he's going to present a lot of problems for a lot of people this year.
Sounds like a young man who knew he was going from the inside to the outside.
Yeah, and we had talked with him about that in the spring, and he made that commitment to better his body, and he did an outstanding job this summer and has really stepped it up from a leadership standpoint on the defensive side of the ball and with our entire team. So we're extremely proud that he's a captain for us.
Kurt, it does appear that depth is a concern up and down on the defense, and especially on an 85-degree day, which might still be an 82-degree evening. That might test people's endurance.
Well, I think it's going to test everybody tonight. Offensively, defensively. It's a hot night. But we didn't pull any punches this preseason camp. We practiced in the mid-afternoon on hot days, and our guys, to their credit, handled it well. And we knew going into this season that it would be a benefit for us, a positive for us. They've done a great job with it. So we feel like we're ready to go. I think that they can walk into this game and play with confidence.
Kurt, we want to talk about your opponent tonight, the Gators of Allegheny College. We'll do that when we come back. You're listening to Thiel Tomcat Football on News Talk 790 WPIC with live webcast on the Thiel College website at thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. McElhaney Brothers, Inc., general contractors, providing premier residential and commercial remodeling in Grove City, Hermitage, and Greenville. Call 724-638-7056 to discuss custom renovations. The Thiel College Blue Gold Club, proudly supporting Thiel College athletic programs since 1990. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu. Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. AVI Fresh, the exclusive food service provider for Thiel College, and CompDoc and the DocuCenter at Thiel College. Thiel College is proud to partner with the Blue Gold Club, AVI Fresh, and CompDoc and the DocuCenter. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. First National Bank, the home for all of your financial solutions, from banking to investments to insurance. Call the Greenville branch of First National Bank at 724-588-6770. St. Paul's, a continuing care community, providing a caring tradition since 1867. Visit St. Paul's online at lifeatstpauls.org. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu. Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. The Greens of Greenville. Log on to greensofgreenville.com. And Ilsko Extrusions Incorporated, one of the industry's most efficient aluminum extrusion mills for more than 60 years, and proud to support Thiel College. Log on to ilskoextrusions.com for more information. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Mike Donato, linebacker coach of the Tomcats. Follow the Thiel Tomcats right here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
We're back with head coach Kurt Reiser on tonight's pregame show. Kurt, last year your Thiel Tomcats went to Meadville and defeated the Gators of Allegheny College 28-14. Had them 21-0 at the half. They made it interesting in the second half, and they do have some weapons back on this year's team, don't they?
They do have some weapons back. John Nigro at the quarterback position does a nice job with their offense, leading their offense. He's a leader for them. Tyler Noby at the receiver position is a good receiver. They got a good tall receiver in Lucas Morton, and one's a senior, one's a junior. They have experience. They have some experience up front in the O-line, so offensively they have some weapons, and defensively they have some weapons on that side of the ball as well. So, we went back and we looked at our film from a year ago, and we did some good things in that game, but there were some things that we didn't do very well, and one of those is take great care of the football, and we need to do a better job of that tonight.
Now, they have a very good running back, too, in sophomore Nick Deichler, who had 350 yards and a very productive freshman year.
He's a good quality running back. He can run between the tackles with some power, and he can get to the perimeter, too. So, he's a guy that we're going to have to stop and force this team to beat us by throwing the ball, and hopefully when they do, we can put pressure on the quarterback and maybe create some turnovers for ourselves.
Last year, Kurt, you had some great linebackers who took a lot of running games away at times. Do your young linebackers, Elk, for example, have that in them too?
I think they do. Our linebackers this year, I think if you put them on paper and you compared them to those three guys that we had last year, and Tommy Thorpe and Wes Schmidt and Jack Fidlinger, and you compare those three guys to the guys that we have now, and Doak Walker and Jake Elk and Shane Russell, we're bigger now. I think we're just as athletic. So I'm really excited about that group. They're young, they're inexperienced, I know that, but they got a motor, and they want to play the game, and they're going to get after it, and I can't wait to watch them play tonight.
Speaking of linebackers, it would appear that the Allegheny defense is focused around their threesome, and it's led by Nick Murgo, who is a very good football player, and also Wesolowski and Wetzel get their share of stuff.
Yeah, Nick Murgo is an outstanding football player. I think he's the heart and soul of their defense. I think he's their best player defensively. 6'2", 225 linebacker that can run. He does a pretty good job in pass coverage, covering, getting to his lanes, and those types of things. And Wesolowski and Wetzel are quality linebackers as well. So, we've talked all week with our offensive line, with our fullbacks, with our tight ends. We need to play physical. We need to get a hat on these people, and so that we can run the ball and do what we need to do on the offensive side of the ball.
Kurt, we want to talk about any injury situations you have, a couple of other things, and, of course, your keys to victory. We'll do that when we return. This is Hugh Ringer with head coach Kurt Reiser on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Greenville Orthopedic Association and Doctors John Scullin and Stuart Anderson, specializing in the treatment of sports medicine, total joint surgery, and arthroscopic surgery. Call 800-245-8100 to make an appointment. And Greenville Moose Family Center, Lodge 276. Fun and fellowship for everyone. Log on to lodge276mooseunits.org. For more information, go to teal.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. TDA, Then Design Architecture, proud to provide architectural and design services for Thiel College. Log on to thendesign.com. Eckley's TV and Appliance Center, located at 672 Mercer Road in Greenville. Call 724-588-7690 or log on to eckleysappliance.com. For more details about Thiel College, log on to teal.edu. Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Sin Coach and Travel, proud to be the transportation provider for the Thiel Tomcats. Call 1-800-345-3435 or log on to goanderson.com. SCP Group, offering a wide selection of services including graphic design, offset and digital printing, wide format printing, mailing services, trade show materials, and digital marketing. Log on to scpgroup.net. For more details about Thiel College, log on to teal.edu.
I'm Daryl Satterfield, offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. You're listening to Thiel Tomcat football on News Talk 790 WPIC.
We're back with head coach Kurt Reiser. Kurt, a couple more things before kickoff, special teams. You got a couple of very young kickers, including the diminutive one, Colin Thiel. He's soaking wet. He tells me he's bigger. He's 125 pounds on the roster and about 5'4", and you have a new punter in sophomore Dylan Squires. Are you at all concerned about what is one-third of most football teams?
We are a little concerned with our kicking game. I mean, Colin played for us last year and did some kicking for us when we had an injury to our starter. Colin came in. I thought he handled himself well. I think in the extra point field goal game, I think he'll be fine for us. Dylan Squires is an unproven commodity right now. We'll see. He has flashes where he can really punt the ball really, really well, and then other times not so good. And so we're looking for consistency from him. It all starts with protection in the punt game and making sure that we make him feel comfortable that he's punting the ball well and that type of thing. But those guys have worked hard as well, and we expect them to pull through for us tonight.
Anybody of note on the injured list? I know Ronnie Howard was not 100% for the scrimmage with Geneva, but is the knee coming around?
Yeah, Ronnie's doing pretty well. I think it's a knee thing that's probably going to bother him most of the year, just inflammation and things like that. At this point in the season, after a tough preseason camp, we're probably a lot like most other teams where, we have some kids that are bumped and bruised and things like that. Nothing major from an injury standpoint. We're missing, Trevor Martin tonight, who's typically a starter for us in the defensive side of the ball in the secondary. But we feel Aaron Mason's going to be able to step into that role and do a really good job. So we're hoping to get Trevor back next week.
Okay, that was Kurt Reiser talking to us, folks, about some last-minute things, injuries, and so forth. Cats are pretty healthy, Don. Yep. Going into this football game, the captains are meeting at midfield. Ronnie Howard elected the captain of the offense. What a deserving honor for the great young man from Sharon High School. And, of course, Riley Shane, the captain, the leader of the defense, big number 58 moving the defensive end. The coin has been tossed. Allegheny wins and defers, as everybody usually does. So that means that they'll get the ball to start the third quarter. The Thiel Tomcats will receive and move left to right on your radio dial. Now, Dawn, I can tell you that Kurt Reiser thinks that special teams, one of the keys to victory here today, especially with the young kickers, the inexperience there, and also he remembers last year that 28-14 win in Meadville would not have been as close a ball game if the Cats had taken better care of the football.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, there's another reason to be excited about special teams. You alluded to it a little bit in the pregame about this incredible class of freshmen and their athleticism. That's where they're going to show their worth right away. Because, you can put them on special teams and they'll be all over the field making plays and running back kicks. So I'm comfortable. I'm happy with our special teams. I think it's going to be a good night.
Yes, I think it is. And we're looking forward to see the Thiel offense here on the first series. Ryan Radke, Mr. Dynamism, the Johnny Manziel Jr., he loves to be called that. And he said to me down in the field, he came over and shook my hand, gave me a hug, and he said, I got to tell you, he said, I feel great. He said, I said, well, the weather loosens you up, doesn't it? He said, oh, yeah, but he said, I feel great. Ronnie Howard said, I'm ready to go. My knee's doing pretty well. I think the Cats are ready to play football, and we're looking at some new people here tonight, and I'm glad to get a chance to see them. And one of them is coming out right now as one of the deep men for Thiel. You want to remember Paul Jones, ladies and gentlemen. He's a 6'2", 190-pound freshman from Newcastle High School. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he has great hands, and he can really scoot. And he's going to be joined in the deep double safety by Chris Jones. And kicking off for Allegheny College is Leo Katz. And he gets the ball airward, and it's going to come down at the 16-yard line. Jones with the ball across the 30 and up to about the 32-yard line where he steps out of bounds right by the Thiel bench. So the Cats will come out with Ryan Radke at quarterback. You got a bunch of freshman running backs that you're going to love, folks. The first one you'll hear about is Evan Imgrund, a 5'9", 180-pounder from Claysburg Kimmel High School in Claysburg, Pennsylvania. The wideouts to start for Thiel are going to be Ronnie Howard, of course, and Alex Horvatus. And they're also joined by Adam Tajudin down here on the near side. In the gun is Radke on 1st and 10 with a sidecar. He fakes, he throws a screen to Howard. Howard's at the 35 and falls forward. And did he lose the football, or did the ball was the ground causing that fumble? And it was. He is down at about, let's see where they're going to put it, about the 36-yard line. He gets about 3. We'll call it 2nd and 7. And Don Thiel is coming out in a no-huddle, hurry-up offense in this heat. Good strategy by Kurt Reiser. Pass out here to Jones. 40, 45, and out to about the 50-yard line. And the Cats have the first down on the first catch of the year by Mr. Paul Jones.
It won't be his last.
Oh, man, is he a weapon.
We've only begun to fight, right, John Paul Jones?
Yeah, we've only begun to fight with Mr. Jones on our side. Radke on 1st and 10 is back. He steps up. He avoids the rush. He's going to run. He's at the 50. He's at the 45, the 40, the 30. That's all the Jets. 20, 15, 10 out of bounds. What a run by Ryan Radke, who has the quickest feet you're ever going to see.
First carry from scrimmage, 41 yards. It's a pretty good average.
I'll take it. And I'll tell you, he puts on the Jets, and he leaves you in the dust or in the heat.
I'll tell you, this is a fun team to watch, folks.
1st and 10, Thiel already on the Allegheny 12, and we're just underway. From Thiel College, back is Radke. A little pressure, running around. Gets away at the 10. Gets away at the 5. He's inside the 3-yard line and out of bounds. Close to another first down, but I think he's about a half-yard short, Don.
And here come the big boys in. I'll tell you what, Hugh, we saw these guys in the summer, and he and Ronnie Howard both look like they spent this whole summer in the weight room. They are big men today.
Keonye Dennis, another freshman running back from Middle River, Maryland, is in at tailback. He's a 5'10", 183-pounder, and he wears a great tailback number, 34.
And the Gators already have their hands on their knees.
Zinsmeister is the blocking fullback for Thiel. On 2nd and 1, here's the give, and into the end zone is Keonye Dennis for a Thiel Tomcat touchdown. And I'll tell you, he followed Justin Zinsmeister, the sophomore fullback out of Baldwin, to pay dirt. And just like that, the Cats are on the board, leading 6-0. And out Virginia, the diminutive one, Colin Peel. Holding is Pat Schaefer, backup quarterback. The snap is good. The ball's down, and everything works. And the young man from Plenty, West Virginia, is 1 for 1. The Thiel Tomcats take the early lead. It's Thiel 7, Allegheny nothing on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. AVI Fresh, the exclusive food service provider for Thiel College, and CompDoc and the DocuCenter at Thiel College. Thiel College is proud to partner with the Blue Gold Club, AVI Fresh, and CompDoc and the DocuCenter. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm RJ Molson, defensive line coach. You're listening to Thiel Tomcat football on News Talk 790 WPIC.
The Thiel Tomcats on a 4-yard run by freshman Keanya Dennis, and the extra point by Colin Peel. Now lead Allegheny early, 7-0, and remember the whole thing was set up by a scamper by the ultra-quick quarterback Ryan Radke. Peel will kick off, and deep to receive for Allegheny are Tyler Smith and Jonah Tanner in double safety. All right, here's the kick, and it's a good end-over-end kick, and it's going to come down to Tanner, or to Smith, rather, at the 15. Uh-oh, he's at the 30, the 35, the 40, and not very good special teams play by Thiel. They run him out of bounds over on the far side at about the 47-yard line. So trailing 7-0, Don, here comes Allegheny with a great kick return.
Joe Serratori on the stop that time. He was back in his safety position. Fortunately, he was there to keep him from going any further.
All right, so the Cats come out on defense. This is a young but talented defense. Up front, the leader, Riley Shane, joined by Jeremy Stefine, a freshman at the other end, Nick Ravita and Cameron Neal, a freshman from Slippery Rock, of the tackles. All right, the quarterback is back in the gun, and he hands off to Deichler, and Deichler is met for no gain by the Thiel front line, and let's see who was the leading tackler there for the Cats.
Riley Shane, Stefine, and a whole host of other Tomcats.
Yes, and I'll tell you, Deichler had nowhere to run. In fact, he loses 2 yards. It's 2nd and 12 back at the 42-yard line. The Tomcat linebackers on defense. The side linebacker, Shane Russell. The wide linebacker is Doak Walker Jr., a freshman from Canton, Ohio. Jake Elk, the sophomore, is the middle linebacker. All right, in the gun is your quarterback, and with that, the ball is Nigro, and he throws to this wideout who gets away from Cat Jones, who missed the tackle, and making that reception, the big one, Lucas Morton, the 6'2 senior from Harbor Creek High School, and he's into Tomcat territory to the 43-yard line, and that's a Thiel first down. Now, that's what you don't want to see. Arguably, your best quarterback missing a tackle on a big wideout.
And what that was, it was just a nice play fake inside. The Tomcats went for the run, and just a pop pass to the wide receiver.
Nigro has 3 wides, and he has Deichler beside him, and he's in the gun on first down at the Thiel 43. Cats leading 7-0. Snap to Nigro. He waits. He throws over the head of the intended receiver down at the 25-yard line, and the Tomcats had pretty good coverage on that play by Aaron Mason, and the intended receiver running a slant had that ball go over his head and sets up a 3rd down. That was Tyler Smith, who I believe was the young man trying to catch that ball. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Allegheny Gators at the 43 of Thiel. Wide to the right is Tyler Noby. Morton to the left. In the gun is Nigro. And Nigro fakes. He keeps, and the Cats are all over him. And who laid him out there? Was that Doak Walker Jr.? How do you like that name, folks? I don't think he's related at all to the Hall of Famer.
I'll tell you what.
But he's a heck of a player.
Welcome to Tomcat football. That was a smack and a half, and that'll change your opinion if you're the quarterback on the read option. I think he's going to read a lot more than he's going to option.
He's going to lay people out. Doak Walker Jr. is a freshman. He is 220 pounds, and he comes from a football factory known as Canton McKinley High School. Enough said.
Real good football position, too. God, you love this kid.
Yes, you do. All right. Quarterback Nigro is back. He throws the out. He's got his big receiver. The tight end is inside the 40 at the 38-yard line, and the Cats have the tight end, John McFarland, horse-collared over on the far side.
Shane Russell and Jake Elk on to stop that time. Now brings up a fourth and about 5, and Gators not sure what to do. Looks like they're going to punt. Good job, Tomcat D.
Yeah, they sucked it up there after a couple of big plays. And the punter is going to come out and kick the football. Chris Bourne, a senior from East Aurora, New York, will stand on his side of the football field at his own 47. And the Cats are going to send
Trey Andrews.
Trey Andrews in single safety back at about the 10. It's a good line drive, kick driving Andrews back to the 6. He's trying to find room. He gets a little room, but the second wave gets him at the 11-yard line.
Yeah.
He's a quick little jitterbug defensive back, and I think he's capable of breaking one sometime.
Yeah,
so the Cats get their second possession of the day, leading 7-0, the 10:28 mark of the first period. And they come out on offense. We ought to set that offensive line for them, Don. Mario Fagioli is the left tackle. Jake Swan had a chance to meet his parents.
Yep.
Today, the junior from Jamestown, New York at left guard. Rayshawn Nevins is the center. Manny Espinosa, the right guard. Gary Heiner, the veteran, at right tackle for Thiel. And Ryan Rowland is a very athletic tight end for the Tomcats. All right, Radke is back. Quarterback draw. He's going to cut it outside. He's going to get away from people. And he's going to be dragged down at about the 18-yard line. But, hey, Don, he gets about 7 yards, I think.
And what did he tell you the other night at the scrimmage? He got bigger because why?
Well, here's what he said. He said, Hugh, I took some punishment last year. I said, yes, you did, Ryan. And he said, now, I've bulked up because I'm going to do the punishing this time.
I think he did it there.
You love his attitude. Back is Radke. He's going to get away. But he's not going to get away from the second wave at the 15, and he is sacked for about a 4-yard loss, setting up third and about 7 for Thiel.
The Gators came with a corner blitz that time. Frank Serbati came in there, and Ryan missed the initial wave, but the corner blitz came in and caught him in the backfield. Sets the Tomcats up with a 3rd and 6.
4 wides are in the ball game for Thiel now on 3rd and 6. Radke back. He's got to throw this one. He has all day. Releases, and it's incomplete and almost intercepted. Boy, I'll tell you, that linebacker for Allegheny came flying up there. I think it was a linebacker.
Marcus Davenport.
Davenport, freshman from Valley High School in New Kensington.
He was the defensive end who dropped back into coverage.
Yeah.
Howard ran a little drag pattern across. Ryan rated for him. He threw it into double coverage because I don't think he expected Davenport to drop back from his DN position.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he's a DN, so he can't really catch.
Yeah, he threw the ball right to Davenport, threw it behind Howard, but I don't think Howard was going to go anywhere after he caught it. But not a real good series for Thiel.
Well, they started in a hole, so it took away a lot that you could do on their own 9-yard line. But it will be interesting to see if they go back to the no huddle, because that's where they had their success.
Here's a test. Sophomore Dylan Squires, his first punt of the year with his heels on the goal line, gets a decent kick away that's going to come out to the 48, and it is a fair catch called by Allegheny's punt returner Tyler Smith at that point. And once again, the Gators, trailing 7-0, Don, are going to have the football in very decent field position on the Thiel 48-yard line.
Yeah, the Tomcats didn't win that battle. We always talk about the battle of field position. Right now, the Tomcats, even though they're up 7-0, are losing the field position battle. You don't really want to let a team like Allegheny or any team start on your side of the 50, and that's where the Gators are setting up shop on the Tomcat 48.
Let's set the Thiel defense in the secondary. Chris Jones and Trey Andrews, the corners. The safeties, Aaron Mason and Joe Sarator. All right, in the gun is the quarterback, John Nigro. And Nigro gives it ahead to Deichler, and Deichler falls to the 45 of Thiel for 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
And it looks like Allegheny's going to stay with that read option a little bit. They brought somebody in motion from the wide receiver spot. He had a chance to pitch, but he tucked it up inside and went with the inside guy instead for about a 3-yard gain.
All right, actually we'll call it 2nd and 7 at the Thiel 45-yard line. 2 wides come to the left. One of them is Tyler Smith. joined by Lucas Morton. Nigro in the gun. He's going to give it to Deichler. No, he's going to keep it. And I'll tell you what, nothing was available. I like the way the Cats are hitting, Don. Somebody really laid the wood to him, and it looked like it might have been that big freshman for Thiel, Cam Neal, out of Slippery Rock High School. And I'll tell you, he is a biggin. He's 6'3", 245, and R.J. Molson told me before the game, he said, I love coaching that kid.
He's got a good coach. He'll teach him all he needs to know.
And the thing I heard about Cam Neal is he has a mean streak. And, boy, that's why he's on defense. All right, it's 3rd down and 6 for Thiel. Back is Nigro. He has all day. He throws. He's got his receiver at the 25, the 20, the 10, the 5, and he's going in for a touchdown. How about that? He caught it on a crossing pattern in open space and took that ball to the house. Don, who was that?
Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith, that's right. Tyler Smith, the senior wideout from Hanover, Pennsylvania, turned a short catch into a great play for
38 yards. Tomcats didn't get a rush that time. The quarterback had all day, and they ran a crossing pattern all the way across.
All right, and Zolkowski is in to try the extra point. The kick is good. 7:57 first period. We're tied. It's Thiel 7, Allegheny 7 on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. McElhaney Brothers, Inc., general contractors, providing premier residential and commercial remodeling at Grove City, Hermitage, and Greenville. Call 724-638-7056 to discuss custom renovations. The Thiel College Blue Gold Club, proudly supporting Thiel College athletic programs since 1990. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Dan Ross, running backs coach of the Tomcats. You're listening to the home of Thiel Tomcat football, News Talk 790 WPIC.
Well, good field position and a big play by the quarterback Nigro, hitting Tyler Smith in a crossing pattern, who took it to the house from 38 yards. Ben Zolkowski the extra point, and we're even here at Thiel College. And the Gators are going to kick the football off now. And
Dustin, just, turn 5 off and then go put the commercial on. They don't know.
Zolkowski with the kick.
So you're not going to get a guy, Hugh's not going to be like, oh, well, Aaron, that's simple, just click next and fix that. Yeah, what the hell happened? I didn't do it.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Seancey's Motel, located at 399 Mercer Road. Log on to seancey'smotel.com or call 724-588-8550 for more information. Remember to ask for the Thiel discount. And UPMC Horizon, life-changing medicine. Log on to upmc.com. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more information about Thiel College, go to thiel.edu.
I'm Kurt Reiser, head football coach. Follow the Thiel Tomcats right here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Hey, did we lose you guys?
All right, we're back at Alumni Stadium, folks, and we apologize for the technical difficulty. A great return by the Thiel College kick return man, Paul Jones. Paul Jones had a 53-yard return into Allegheny territory, and now the Cats have lost 5 yards on first down, and it is first, actually, a penalty sets it back. It's 1st and 15, Thiel on its own 42, starting their third series of the game after Allegheny score. Here's Radke rolling to the left, throws to Alex Horvitis.
Nice catch.
And he has the catch in Allegheny territory at the Gator. 41 steps out of bounds on the near side of the field. He gets 5+ I would say about 6. Let's call that 11 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 4 now at the 42 of Allegheny.
He's your classic possession receiver. He's the guy that when Ronnie Howard and Paul Jones go deep and spread it, he's going to be the one coming across. And that was just a nice little out pattern. Gets the Tomcats 2nd and 5.
Out of Lancaster, New York, and he's pretty good sized. Here's the give now to the tailback, and that's Evan Imgrund, who cuts it up in there for good yardage down near to a 1st down at the 38-yard line of Allegheny. Let's see if they measure it, or I guess they're going to call it a tad. No, they're going to say move the sticks.
Good explosion by the Tomcat front 5 that time. Just moved Allegheny back off the ball, and that's something we haven't seen in a long, long time, and I like this offensive line a lot. They played a lot last year because of injury, so they're not really young. But, boy, they really got off the ball that time.
All right, Ronnie Howard goes to the left. Hervitis to the right. Tajuden is in the slot left for the shotgunning Radke with Imgrund, the tailback, beside him. On 1st down, he rolls left. He throws out here to Ronnie Howard. Makes a move inside the 30 and loses the ball out of bounds. And I guess Thiel's going to retain the ball, but only because the ball rolled out of bounds at, they'll say, the 31. Howard gets 8. Now, I made an observation here very early, Don, and I'm not a coach, but Ronnie Howard and Paul Jones need to conceal the football better. They're not covering the football well as receivers. They're trying to make moves, which is great, but they're keeping that ball out like a mini loaf of bread, and that won't work.
Yeah, it's 2 catches for Ronnie and 2 fumbles.
Yeah. Howard to the left, and we have a timeout. Thiel take a 30-second time on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. First National Bank, the home for all of your financial solutions, from banking to investments to insurance. Call the Greenville branch of First National Bank at 724-588-6770. St. Paul's, a continuing care community, providing a caring tradition since 1867. Visit St. Paul's online at lifeatstpauls.org. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Matt Arshenkoff, Special Teams Coordinator and Defensive Backs Coach. Follow the Thiel Tomcats right here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Hugh Ringer and Don Achenbach back at Alumni Stadium in Greenville. 6:28 remaining in the first period. It's Thiel 7, Allegheny 7. The Tomcats are 2nd and 3 on the Allegheny 31-yard line as Ryan Radke with Evan Imgrund as the single setback and 2 wides goes under his center, Rayshawn Nevins. He gives it off to Imgrund, who dances, who finds a bit of a hole and gets the 1st down. And look at that surge, Don. He got 6 yards on 2nd effort.
Play started out to the left. There was nothing there. He just followed those big blue jerseys until he found an opening and scored it through, got the 1st down. And that's what you want to see. You want to see that guy going forward. Okay, it's not there. Get what you can get. Don't try to make a big play outside like so many young running backs want to do. They want to bump everything outside and try to show us their speed. He came back inside where the big guys were and found a hole between a couple of legs and got a 1st down.
We expect to see Kevin Daly out of Oil City High School, a 1,000-yard high school rusher, a little bit later in the ball game. Right now it's Imgrund. It's 1st and 10 at the 27 of Allegheny in a tie ball game. The give is to Imgrund. Imgrund's going to get away at the 25 and is going to be dragged down by the ankle at the 24-yard line of Allegheny. So he's going to get a couple on the play, and we'll call it 2nd down. Make it 3, 2nd down and 7 for Thiel.
He got a 3 officially, but he actually got about 6 because he was stopped in the backfield, and he's got these quick, really quick feet in his. And when I talk about quick feet in the hole, he was dancing, but his feet were going forward and his legs were pumping. It wasn't just doing a waltz. He was looking for yardage and ended up getting 3+ yards.
Horvitis and Howard go wide to the right. 2 tights are in the ball game now for Thiel. Radke is going to be under center with Imgrund behind him on 2nd and 7. The 24, straight back. Going to air it out for Hervitis. He's got a stick. He's got a touchdown. Alex Hervitis strikes Tater on the perfect pass by Ryan Radke. It covered, 17 yards?
24.
24 yards. Radke to Alex Hervitis. A junior wide receiver out of St. Mary's High School in Lancaster, New York. And on to kick is Colin Peel. The holder, Schaefer. The ball's down. The kick is up. The kick is good. He's 2 for 2. How about that? Ice water in his veins. Timeout on the field. Thiel 14, Allegheny 7 on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. The Greens of Greenville. Log on to greensofgreenville.com. And Ilsko Extrusions Incorporated, one of the industry's most efficient aluminum extrusion mills for more than 60 years, and proud to support Thiel College. Log on to ilskoextrusions.com for more information. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
This is John Herrickle, defensive coordinator. You're listening to the home of Thiel College Tomcat football. News Talk 790 WPIC.
A pretty nice drive, answering by the Tomcats. 24-yard touchdown pass. Ryan Radke to Alex Horvitis. Extra point by
Colin Peel.
2 for 2. And Peel is going to kick off. Deep to receive for Allegheny. Tyler Smith and Jonah Tanner. Both standing on the 10-yard line. Peel's kick is a line drive. It's going to come down to the 12, and it's taken by Smith. He's at the 20, 25, and down this time at the 29. Good special teams play.
Aaron
Mason, okay. Backup defensive back. So the worst field position Allegheny's had today, Don, their own 29-yard line.
Sean McMaster's a backup tight end also on that play, a freshman. Tomcats have some very talented tight ends, and that's a position I watch very carefully for obvious reasons.
I'm sure.
These guys are as good a group as I've seen. We've had good tight ends, but this is a good group. They're going to push each other all year.
And I'll tell you, I watched Ryan Rowland, the starter, the sophomore from Pickerington, Ohio, and I'll tell you, he has great athleticism. All right, Nigro takes the snap and flags fly and whistles blow, and I think somebody is guilty of jumping before the snap.
Yeah, the guys in the white jersey twitched a little bit before the snap and got 5 yards.
So that moves it back to the 19 and or the 24.5-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 15 for Allegheny.
Tomcats are going to have to dial up something to get pressure on this kid because we can't just let him sit back there. He's got some very good wide receivers who may not be burners, but they're very good pattern runners, and if you let him sit back there, he's going to pick you apart. So the Tomcats are going to have to dial something up here.
All right, let's see what the Cats can do. Nigro in the gun. He has a new tailback in there, and he fakes to him, rolls, he's under pressure, and he's going down. Shane Russell, the sophomore linebacker from Union City High School, was in his kitchen, Don.
Sometimes you just get lucky, Hugh. Brought a linebacker in on a blitz that time, and the Gators weren't any better ready for it than we were, and down on a nice, about a 10-yard drop.
Yeah, the ball's back on the 15-yard line. I'm going to have to do some math here. It's 3rd and 25, I think.
I'm not that smart, people. Sometimes these things just call themselves.
3rd and 25. 3 wides in the pattern for Nigro for Allegheny with a single setback. Might he just call the old draw here? No, he's going to call the end around, and he's going to get a guy loose, but not too loose. And getting that football is Tyler Smith, and we already know what he can do in the open field, but the Cats corralled him at about the 23-yard line, about 17 yards shy of the first down. Yeah. So it's going to be 3rd down, and the Cats face another 3rd and long, and let's see if they bring some heat. I'm going to keep my eye on Jeremy Steffine, the defensive end on this side. He's a little small at 208, but he's out of Central Valley High School, one of the best football programs in the WPIAL. Let's see if he and Riley Shane can get some heat. Here is Nigro back, and here comes Stephan, and they throw to a back, and he holds for a moment and then said, whoop, I don't think I want any part of this. Jawan Campbell, a junior running back, said, no, I think I hear a linebacker coming.
Your turn to be clairvoyant. Stephens came in on the blitz, on the rush, and Riley Shane cleaned up afterwards. So you called them both that time, and they both had big plays.
Yep. Riley will always come through. I think I'll call him all the time.
Oh, he's a good kid.
All right, Allegheny is going to punt the football, and Chris Bourne is going to be standing back on his own 9. And Trey Andrews is out at the 40. Let's see if Trey can break one. He runs and kicks it away from Andrews. It's going to bounce at about the 40 and roll around there where it's going to be down in the vicinity of the 40 or the 39. Thiel's own. Well, they're going to put that down at the 37. Not the best spot, but no big deal. Cats get it on their own 37, 1st and 10.
This would be a real good time for the Tomcats, I think, to come back out with that no huddle and put some pressure on, maybe get one in the end zone here and get Allegheny back on their heels.
Tomcats are leading at the 3:17 mark of the first period, 14-7 over Allegheny in the season opener. Reminder, we'll hit the road for another night game next Saturday night. Almost heaven is our destination. To some, West Virginia.
John Denver was never at best.
No, John Denver was not brilliant. But anyway...
no, I didn't say that.
I did. All right, we're going to Bethany anyway to play the Bison next week. Here's the give to Imgrund, and he spins and gets away at the 40 and up to about the 45-yard line. I like that young man.
Nice run that time. He got hit in the hole right at the beginning at the line of scrimmage. Spun around, kept his legs churning, kept both hands on the ball.
And you know who I like? It's not Imgrund. It's Kevin Daly.
That's even better.
That was the smaller back of the two. Kevin Daly, who is in the ball game. Another freshman transfer, 5'9", 190, out of Oil City High School, where he rushed for 1,000 yards. And he's got a little scoot in his giddy-up, I'll tell you. Horvitis is wide to the right, Ronnie Howard to the left, and he motions from left to right. On 2nd down and 3 for Thiel on the 45-yard line. Here's Radke. He fakes. He's going to roll to the right. He's going to throw against the grain. He can't get Ryan Orland, who leaps for it at the 39 of Allegheny, and it falls incomplete, setting up 3rd and 3 for Thiel. Not a bad play to call. And I'll tell you, Radke knew he had an athletic tight end in that zone, and a great effort that time by Roland, but just a little too high.
Yeah, you have that tight end that far down the field is kind of refreshing for the Tomcats. Usually they're used to seeing those guys just going out and running a curl pattern, tucking in a hole somewhere. He actually ran a route downfield, and Ryan just couldn't connect with him.
Howard right, Horvitis left on 3rd and 3. Daly has Zinsmeister, the blocking fullback, in the backfield with him. Radke under center, gives it, no, he fakes. He's going to throw it to Zinsmeister, 47, 50, into territory of Allegheny, the Gator 49 for a first down.
Nice pitch and catch that time. Ryan Brock came out to his fullback. He was out in the flat. Then he turned the ball upfield. Pig got the first down with the catch, but then turned it upfield and got some yards after catch, which we like to see.
Zinsmeister is your typical fullback, short, stocky, built close to the ground, protects the football, and isn't going to win any races, but that's all right. You don't want your tight end or your fullbacks to. 1st and 10 at the 49 of Allegheny. Thiel leading 14-7. Radke under center and an eye, pitches to Daly. Daly's at the 50. Daly fights, gets to the 45, the 44. Let's see where they'll say he is down. It looks like they're going to stop at about the 44.
Well, I'll tell you, these freshman running backs, they both run with purpose. You know, they're not dancing in a hole. They're not tentative. They know their assignment, and they're not looking to do anything but get to the hole and wait for their blocks to develop. And, boy, that's kind of fun to watch, guys.
That's a gain of 5. And I'm going to tell you about another running back, folks, that you haven't seen yet, but you're going to see a lot of this young man after this play. I formation behind Radke on 2nd and 5. The two wides, Horvitis and Howard to the left. Here's the give to Daly. Daly in the secondary, 40, 35, and down after an 11-yard gallop for a 1st and 10 for Thiel at the 35 of Allegheny. Now, we talked about Daly. We talked about Imgrund. And how about Grant Seister?
Yep.
Grant Seister, a young man who came in with a cracked bone in his ankle, suffered an all-star game over the summer, just started to practice about a week ago, and I'm telling you, Mr. Seister is going to be special. He's out of Purchase Line High School in Clymer, Pennsylvania. Last year, he only rushed for 2,500 yards and 32 touchdowns. Here's the give to Daly. Daly spins and gets extra yardage down to about the 32 of Allegheny. We'll give him 3, 2nd and 7. So we could have some kind of a running back by committee group.
He's going to have to be special even to get on the field with these guys. But I'll tell you what this is also doing, Hugh. One thing you've noticed with these guys getting yardage, Ryan Radke doesn't have to carry the ball.
No, and that's good because He carries it enough.
And that makes him even more effective when he does.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
They're not going to be able to spy on him like they did last year.
All right, a new wide receiver in the game for Thiel. Rob Thompson out of Youngstown, Ohio Christian School. He's out to the right. Here is Radke back. He's going to throw to Thompson, and that wasn't thrown very well. It was thrown over the wrong shoulder. He made a good effort down at the 19-yard line, but couldn't pull it in.
And that might be a case where the young wide receiver got his feet tangled up. He was running the pattern, and I think he came back, and Ryan was expecting him to go one way, and he came back the other way. And when he tried to go back, his feet got tangled among them. And I've had that happen myself a lot, just getting out of bed in the morning. But that time he just fell down. The ball was probably catchable in another situation.
All right, Horvitis and Thompson go wide to the left. Ronnie Howard out by his lonesome to the right. On 3rd down and 7, and probably a pass situation or a scramble situation for the quarterback.
Quarterback draw, watch Ryan.
Radke is in the gun with a sidecar. Radke's back. He looks. There's your draw. He's got that inside the 30. He's inside the 25, but he's not going to get the first down. And we are coming to the end of the first period, so it'll be 4th and short for Thiel when we return. That's the end of 1. Thiel 14, Allegheny 7 on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Sionci's Motel, located at 399 Mercer Road. Log on to sioncysmotel.com or call 724-588-8550 for more information. Remember to ask for the Thiel discount. And UPMC Horizon, life-changing medicine. Log on to upmc.com. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more information about Thiel College, go to thiel.edu.
I'm Ryan Matvico, wide receivers coach. You're listening to the home of Thiel Tomcat football, News Talk 790 WPIC.
Welcome back to Alumni Stadium at Stober Field, the season opener for the Thiel Tomcats. Hugh Ringer and Don Achenbach bringing this game to you live. 1 quarter is in the books, and the Thiel Tomcats, in a very interesting game, lead the Allegheny Gators 14-7. Well, Don, what have you seen in the first quarter that gives you cause for optimism with the Cats?
Well, we said earlier in the summer when we were watching these guys, they seem a lot more athletic and a lot more physical this year. And, boy, nothing in the first quarter changed my opinion of that. This looks like a football team, folks. They break the huddle crisp. They do get up to the line of scrimmage. They know their assignments. And you've got the speedster on just about every step of the way. And I think we're going to see some exciting. And then I'm really excited about that defense. For as young as they are, they're all playing their positions right. It doesn't seem like anybody's out of position. They're all in good football position to make plays. And, boy, they can put a hitting on you.
Yes, they can. And you know, the young players are really exciting. Kurt Reiser, I could tell, but the tone and the look on his face today, he really likes this freshman class.
We've been around Kurt for 15 years. We know how to read him, and he's excited about it.
All right, 4th and 2 for Thiel on the 27 of Allegheny. I formation for Radke. Let's see what he calls. Long count. He's going to give. He's going to give to the big boy, and he cuts it outside. 20, 15, 10, 5. Is he in?
Out of bounds.
He's out of bounds, but boy, oh boy.
Touchdown.
Keonye Dennis.
27-yard touchdown.
Is 2 for 2. 2 carries, 2 touchdowns. Keonye Dennis. We've been talking about the other freshman. How about this freshman? He's like Jerome Bettis. He can just score, baby, in the red zone, although he wasn't quite in the red zone here.
Why didn't I? It only took us, 16 minutes to get our first Steeler reference.
All right, Colin Thiel is in to try his 3rd successive extra point. The kick is up. The kick is good.
Boy.
It is 21-7 Thiel over Allegheny. Stay tuned for more on News Talk 790 WPIC.
You are listening to News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to
Sharon.
thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Greenville Orthopedic Association and Doctors John Scullin and Stuart Anderson, specializing in the treatment of sports medicine, total joint surgery, and arthroscopic surgery. Call 800-245-8100 to make an appointment. And Greenville Moose Family Center, Lodge 276, fun and fellowship for everyone. Log on to lodge276mooseunits.org. For more information, go to thiel.edu.
You are listening to News Talk 790 WPIC. Sharon Hermitage, a Cumulus station, sponsored by the Ridgewood at Shenango Valley, a premier senior living residence.
I'm Daryl Satterfield, offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. You're listening to Thiel Tomcat Football on News Talk 790 WPIC.
I have to be honest with you, folks. I know about these outstanding freshman running backs, but nobody ever mentioned Keonye Dennis. This must be Kurt Reiser's surprise for us. Keonye Dennis, 2 carries, 2 touchdowns, the latest 27 yards on 4th and 2, and the kickoff by Peel is going to go through the legs of an Allegheny player into the end zone, and he's trying to come out, and he gets away, and he's lucky getting out to the 13-yard line. Somebody had him hemmed in down there, and I'll tell you, a cat is hitting himself on the helmet, Aaron Mason, because he says, I should have had him maybe at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, he had him back there, and I think that's a case where the Allegheny returner didn't understand the rule, because he thought he had to come back out, and I think on a muff like that, he would have been fine to kneel and get out to the 20, but he did manage to get back to the 13, so it wasn't all lost, but the Tomcats had him pinned back at the 2, and if they could have gotten him there.
And now let's see what the Cats can do about keeping this team pinned back here.
Now would be a good time. Again, we talked about it before. Let's bring some pressure on this kid, because you know they're going to have to throw a little bit more than they want to. We got him pinned back. Let's get him some pressure. Maybe we get a turnover.
All right. Steve Kuzik is now in for Cam Neal at defensive tackle for Thiel. Nigro with the football in the gun is back. Throws, and it's too low. Intended for his big wideout over on that side. And trying to get down at 6'2" and make the catch, Lucas Morton. He could not. Trey Andrews was right there in coverage. 2nd and 10 for Allegheny on their own 13.
And that's a long pass, folks. That's a 9-yard out. It's all the way on the other side. They're on this side hash mark, thrown all the way across. That's a pass that even quarterbacks in the NFL, that's one of the things they look at to see if you're going to be a good quarterback. That's a hard pass to throw.
John Nigro's a 5'9", 195-pound junior from Allison Park, Pennsylvania. He's in the gun on 2nd and 10 with a man in motion. And he's going to fake, he's going to pitch it, and a cat is in the backfield, misses the tackle, and getting away for real good yardage, Tyler Smith, 20, 25, 30, and up to about the 32-yard line. I think that was Doak Walker who had that tackle, but he just didn't wrap him up. And the freshman is pounding the ground. He'll learn.
You know what that is, Hugh? That's when I was in high school, if I hit somebody like that, they went down. Now that I'm not in high school, guess what? They don't go down. You got to wrap them up. You got to get your legs up. You got to lift them up. Then you put them down. He just learned a valuable lesson.
Yes, and the good news is he read the play and was in the right position.
Spot.
He just couldn't make the play, but he will the next time. All right, Nigro with a 1st and 10 is back and looking, going to throw the swing pass, and he's got Deichler at the 30, and Deichler's going to run out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. Not a real big gain.
To quote Shakespeare, much ado about nothing.
Yeah, it's about a 2-yard gain.
Looked like it had a lot of room to grow. He was out there way out, a lot of space in front of him, but the Tomcats closed very, very well, and that was number 47, Shane Russell, came out from the inside linebacker position and ran him out of bounds after about a 2.5 yard gain.
All right, so Nigro brings his team out of the huddle, and he's going to deploy Lucas Morton to the right, and he has 3 other wide receivers in the game and a single setback, so it's an obvious pass situation. Nigro in the gun with a sidecar, but he's going to give it to Deichler, and Deichler is going to dance and get a few yards across the 35 up to about the 37-yard line, and flying up there from the secondary position to try to make that play for Thiel was Joe Sarator, among others.
Yeah, and Doak Walker was right there in the middle of it, too. Held him up. Sarator came in and cleaned him up and finished him off. Sets it up about a 3rd, 4.5, maybe 5.
All right, Tomcats milling around a little bit, discussing what they're going to do. And now they're going to deploy as 4 wides are in the game for Allegheny. And the quarterback, John Nigro, is in the gun with a tailback behind him. He needs 4, and he's back, and he has time, and he releases. He's got his tight end, and a flag flies up at the 45-yard line, and making that catch for Allegheny College was John McFarland.
We're going to have pass interference against the Gators.
Oh, offensive interference.
Yeah, the tight end was wide open, and the reason he was wide open was he pushed off when he made his break, and referee threw the flag on. It looks like they're going to move him back.
Well, that's one way to try to get open.
Well, yeah, it works real well if you don't get caught.
Well, and that's the problem.
So does bank robbery.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Cats make another move here on defense and bring in a new defender.
Yeah.
And coming into the ball game is Cody Wagner, one of Kurt Reiser's favorite young players. The kid biked across the United States this summer, Don. Can you believe it?
Should have pretty good calf muscles.
Well, and according to Coach Reiser, he is intense. Well, you can do a lot with intensity.
Well, that was a long penalty, 15 yards.
Yeah, the ball's clear back on the 22-yard line. It's third at about 17, maybe 19. Nigro in the gun. He's straight back. He gets pressure. He gets away, but he's going to get down. And who's on top of him? Number 51 for Thiel is right there. Connor Paghetti. Right?
No, Nick Ravita.
Nick Ravita.
We got two 51s, one snapper. Nick got in there that time, and great job. And the Tomcats didn't bring any special pressure. They had everybody dropping back, and that's the Tomcat front four got the pressure and forced Allegheny to a long punt.
Nice job by Ravita out of South Allegheny High School at 232 pounds. And the punter is going to be standing in his own end zone here to kick to, let's see, it's going to be Jones, and he takes it on the run and fumbles the football, and you can't do that. And I'm afraid Allegheny has the ball on the 42. A freshman mistake by Paul Jones, who came up. He thought he was Starling Marte trying to make that catch.
Well, that's a case where you got to make the fair catch.
Oh, my.
The Gators got, that's huge.
That turns the ball over to Allegheny. A freshman mistake that is a killer on special teams. Well, it could be a lot worse, but instead of having the ball in real good shape in Allegheny territory, maybe to go up by 2-3 scores, the Cats leading 21-7 turn it over, and it's on their own 41-yard line, and Allegheny gets life.
Yeah, that's you let them off the mat. You had them down, you had them with your foot on their throat, and you let it up that time by making a little bit of a freshman mistake. And I'll tell you what, that kid's got such an upside. You'll forgive it, but only if we get the ball back without them scoring.
It just might be a while before he's returning a punt if I'm the coach, but I'm not, so maybe that won't happen.
Until they line him up for sprints and they see how fast it is.
All right, Nigro in the gun with 3 wides on 1st and 10. He's going to fake it. He's going to go back. He's going to air it down the middle. He's got a receiver out there and making a leaping catch down at the 22, and I think he has the wind knocked out of him. What a catch was that?
21.
Tyler Smith.
Yeah.
He's been the big playmaker. He leaped in the air. Pretty good coverage by the Thiel secondary.
Trey Andrews had him covered like a blanket. Just at the last minute when the ball got there, Trey turned inside. If he'd have turned outside, it would have been a pick. And unfortunately, he picked the wrong way to turn. And
37-yard reception.
Sets the Gators up almost in the red zone.
From Tyler Smith, or rather from Nigro to Tyler Smith. And it's 1st and 10 at the 21 of Thiel. Allegheny with 4 wides, Nigro in the gun, low snap. Gets it, calls his own number, but Riley Shane says, "You're going nowhere in my kitchen," and is the ball loose? It was loose, but I don't see any official indicating it could be a turnover. The ball apparently, the runner, Nigro, was down as he was being sacked. So we'll give a sack to our new sack man, Riley Shane.
I tell you what, the slimmed down Riley Shane.
Yes.
Boy, he looks like one of those upside down pyramids. From those shoulders down to that waist. He looks in real good football shape, folks.
Well, he could play all day, I think.
Well, you notice the Tomcats have their hands on their hips. The Gators have their hands on their knees. I think that says a lot.
Yes. All right, in the gun is Nigro on 2nd down and 12. He's going to fake, and he's going to throw to the big tight end down the middle, and he's got it inside the 10, down to about the 8-yard line. And he is a weapon, too. Stefan, the freshman defensive end in coverage, made the play, but it's going to be first and goal for Allegheny on the 8. I don't think they can run the ball on Thiel, Don. But with this wideout, this great athlete, Smith, and the big tight end who seems to be able to catch everything, John McFarland.
Well, you got to not let him off the line of scrimmage clean. He's in there. You got to put a body on him and make him work for his pattern.
All right, Nigro in the gun on first and goal. His team trailing 21-7. He waits the snap, and he's back. He's going to fake it. No, he's going to give it to a running back, and I'm going to tell you, that young man, Jake, who was that ran? Jake Wilson? No, it was Jawan Campbell, the junior out of Waldorf, Maryland, who took that ball down to the 2-yard line. He found a hole and ran right through it, Don.
Yeah, Tomcats, I think they were backpedaling looking for a pass. I think they weren't expecting a draw play like that, and that was just a good one-on-one helmet-to-helmet, and the Gators won that round.
Second and goal, Allegheny at the Thiel 2-yard line. They come out with 3 wide receivers. And once again, Campbell is to the right of the shotgunning quarterback, Nigro. Nigro is going to give it to Campbell, and Campbell's going to take it into the end zone for a touchdown for Allegheny. A 2-yard run by Jawan Campbell. And Allegheny is not going to go away, Don. It is 21-13 at the 8:42 mark of the second period with the extra point pending.
Yeah, Tomcats can't scoreboard watch. They just got to play their position, and that time didn't respond real well to the turnover.
And their kicker again is Ben Zolkowski, and the kick is up and plenty good. Timeout on the field. It is now Thiel 21 and Allegheny 14 on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Coach and Travel, proud to be the transportation provider for the Thiel Tomcats. Call 1-800-345-3435 or log on to goanderson.com. SCP Group, offering a wide selection of services including graphic design, offset and digital printing, wide format printing, mailing services, trade show materials, and digital marketing. Log on to scpgroup.net. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm RJ Molson, defensive line coach. You're listening to Thiel Tomcat football on News Talk 790 WPIC.
A 2-yard run by backup tailback Jawan Campbell has given Allegheny new life in this game after a Thiel muff of a punt gave the Gators the ball near midfield. And after a long pass to the wideout, who has really hurt Thiel, Tyler Smith, all of a sudden they get it in the end zone, and it's a 21-14 game. Thiel still in the lead, and Allegheny's going to kick off now.
Well, we got to see how the Tomcats respond. Maybe Paul Jones will respond with a return here.
Chris Bourne kicks it down to Jones at the 8. He's at the 10, the 15, the 20. Turns on the Jets, 25, 30, still going and out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Pretty good return by the freshman from Newcastle High School.
Got to find a way to get him up the middle, though. They're pinning him against the sideline and then pushing. He can't do much there, but once we get a return up the middle, I think you're going to see some moves, and that kid's got some afterburners, like you said.
No question about it. Thiel's going to come out now, and we see that the Cats are going to keep the wideout in the ball game, who saw some action in the last series, Rob Thompson. He's out there with Horvitis. Quarterback, of course, is Radke with an eye behind him. Zinsmeister is your blocking fullback. And here is the give, and this is Daly, who cuts across the 35 up to the 40. And unlike Allegheny, which cannot line up and run it against Thiel, with Daly and your starter here in this football game can run the football with Evan Imgrund.
Yeah, I think that might be Imgrund who just checked in.
Was that Imgrund?
Yeah, 24.
Okay, it is Imgrund. He showed some good quickness there.
Who I don't see is Ronnie Howard.
Yeah, I don't see Ronnie Howard out there at all.
I'm not sure I see him on the sidelines either. Oh, there he is.
There's a flag that flies, and I don't know who this is going to be on.
You know, as hot as it's not as hot as it was earlier this afternoon. Obviously,
going to be on Thiel.
Not hot. You're going to rotate these kids. You know, you're going to get cramping. You're going to get all kinds of stuff. You saw some of that in high school games last night, especially in the second half. And it's going to be key with 7:57 left in the half. What the Tomcats do at halftime to keep stretching and keep loose and get hydrated.
All right, the Cats are going to send Horvitis and Rob Thompson out here to the left on 2nd down and 6. Here is the give straight ahead to Daly, and Daly crosses the 35 up to about the 37-yard line. He has a couple, and a flag flies, and what's this all about?
Well, there was some pushing and shoving on the last couple of plays, and hopefully it's a split decision, but I think
they're going to call it on Thiel. And that you don't like.
Well, you got to keep your composure. Okay, the last 4 or 5 minutes haven't gone the Tomcats' way, but it's first game of the season. They're learning how. You got some young kids in there. You know, when they talk to you, they're going to chatter to you. It's not like high school again in that respect, too. They're going to say things about your family that you really don't want to hear, but you can't really push back. The best way to get to them is to break the line of scrimmage and get another touchdown on the road. Yeah,
Evan Imgren, the running back, was the guilty party. He came out of the game, and I'll tell you, Kurt Reiser had a few words for him. And according to the head linesman down in the field, he apparently gave the good old elbow to somebody after the play.
Yeah, all of college education isn't in the classroom. He is learning a lot about life right now when a couple of the coaches get with him.
Tajuden is into the game. Jones is back in at wide receiver, and I have a feeling Thiel's going to air this out, as they should, on 3rd down and 18.
Well, it's Ryan Radke time.
Yes, Radke is in the gun with a setback beside him and 4 wides in the ball game. So let's see what he does. He's back. He's going to throw down there. Oh, it's too far.
Boy.
He had Jones breaking open. If he throws that ball with a little less velocity,
I think
a little less air, he might still be running.
I'm sorry. I think Jones got held, and that's why he didn't get it.
Is there a flag?
Yes, there is.
Well, then that could be.
They held him. They held him. That's why the pass was where it was supposed to be, and Jones wasn't, because the cornerback got beaten. Yeah. Jones beat him like a drum, and
that's a huge penalty because it's a first down.
Automatic first down.
And instead of 3rd and long, Thiel's going to have a first down on its own 33-yard line with 7:05 remaining until halftime. By the way, we do want to mention we have a special guest at halftime. The retiring athletic director at Thiel College, the former head coach, your teammate, Jack Leipheimer, will join us at halftime. Don't miss that. Here's Radke rolling to the left, throws the pass to Thompson, and Thompson has a little bit of giddy up across the 40 and is out of bounds at the 42-yard line. He gets 9 yards on first down, Don.
Yeah, nice little 2-yard pass, 7-yard run. You think maybe they ran that play a time or two this summer, because it sure looked like it. They were right on the same page that way.
Rob Thompson, a sophomore wide receiver at 5'8", 175. Alex Horvitis.
Look for a bomb.
Tajuden and Thompson go to the right, and Jones is down here to the left in single coverage.
2nd and 1. It's a nice time to go deep.
Yes, it is. And Radke has a setback beside him. Let's see what Ryan's going to call. Long snap. He gets it. He calls the draw. He finds room. He gets away. But the second-level linebacker gets him at the 49. But he has plenty of yardage for a first down near midfield.
Yeah, I was right with Ryan Radke. That's the Ryan Radke version of the bomb. Run a quarterback draw.
Yep.
That kid has got the quickest feet I think I've ever seen in a quarterback.
You know, I was talking to a young linebacker from St. Vincent College this summer down at Steeler Camp, who helped us out with some things. And he said, you know, do you still have that quarterback back at Thiel? I said, yeah. And he said, I tried to tackle him last year, and I had him all lined up. And he said, whoop, 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 whoop. He said he was gone. He said, I never saw anybody that quick.
Wait till he sees the 2015 edition.
The bulked-up version. Okay, speaking of Radke, he's going to roll to the right on play fake. And he got a great block from Zinsmeister, but he throws the pass way too high down at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, you remember Coach Reiser talking in the pregame about trying to make Ryan more of a quarterback and less of an athlete. That was where his athletic ability took over for him. He didn't set his feet, and when the ball left his arm, it was the right right play to make, but he was on the run, didn't take the time to set his feet, and the ball just sailed on him. And that's part of the process of learning how to be a quarterback.
Horvitis leaped, but he didn't have a prayer on that one. Ronnie Howard is back in after a little blow. He's out wide to the right, Horvitis to the left. Tajudin is in the slot right for Radke. On 2nd down and 10 on his own 49, here comes the blitz. And Radke is going to get downed in the backfield. And I'll tell you, the linebacker for Allegheny said, enough of this, running the football. Nick Murgo, the leader of that defense, timed that beautifully.
You want to know what's exciting about that play, even though he made a no-gain tackle? That's the guy Kurt Reiser mentioned in the pregame, and that's the first time we've called his name with 5 minutes left in the first half. That tells you what this offensive line is doing.
All right, 4 wides for Radke on 3rd and 10 after no gain. Long count. Rayshawn Nevins, the center. He gets it back. Radke going to dance. Gets away from a little bit. Gets away. He's going to break it out at the 40. He's inside the 40. Down to the 34. He has a Thiel Tomcat first down at the Allegheny 34-yard line. And a Thiel player is hurt.
Yeah, it's not who we want to see hurt.
Is that Radke hurt?
I think he just...
Ryan Radke is down and rolling around. We're going to take a 30-second timeout as the trainers attend to Radke on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Sioncey's Motel, located at 399 Mercer Road. Log on to Sioncey'sMotel.com or call 724-588-8550 for more information. Remember to ask for the Thiel discount. And UPMC Horizon, life-changing medicine. Log on to UPMC.com. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more information about Thiel College, go to Thiel.edu.
I'm Dan Ross, running backs coach of the Tomcats. You're listening to the home of Thiel Tomcat football, News Talk 790 WPIC.
Well, the good news, folks, is the redoubtable Ryan Radke is up and walking off the field under his own power.
Yeah.
Dr. Stu Anderson, the attending physician, is with him. Radke is really upset. He's got blood on his face. And I have a feeling that he feels that something untoward was done to him.
I'll tell you what he's upset about. Dr. Anderson just took his helmet, which means he's going through the concussion protocols. Which means he's not coming back for a while.
Okay, well, that's what they're going to do. He took him by the arm, Dr. Anderson did. All right, Pat Schaefer is the quarterback, and he gives it off. Here comes Daly. 15, 10, and he's inside the 5 and down at the 3-yard line. How's that for a quick answer by Thiel? Hand it to the freshman, Kevin Daly, who broke loose and got it inside the 5.
Geez, heck, Hugh, you and I can play quarterback if we have a running back like that. Just turn around, give him the ball, and have him pick up 22 yards.
Yep. All right, Pat Schaefer, the senior from Truckee High School in Loyalton, California, a great young man who's been here now. This is his 4th year, and we watched him in a scrimmage the other night, and I said he is vastly improved. All right, it's 1st and goal at the 4 for Thiel. I formation behind Schaefer. Here's the kid to the big kid, but this time they're going to say, no siree. We are not going to let Keonye Dennis get loose. And Keonye Dennis is now thrown for a loss in the backfield.
Ben Capella that time, they probably saw it coming and shot the gap that time and cut underneath his legs, because this is a big boy. This is a boy you're not going to bring down by grabbing him by the shoulder pads, and shot through, took him out at the thighs, and dropped him for a little bit of a loss.
Okay, he loses 3. It's 2nd down and goal for Thiel at the Allegheny 7 at the 3:35 mark of the 2nd period. Thiel leading 21-14. Schaefer is going to be in the gun with Daly as sidecar and 3 wides. He's back. He looks. He throws. Way wide for Ronnie Howard. He was open. If Ronnie catches that ball at the 3, he walks into the end zone.
Yep.
But the pass was wide. Oh, no. Here we go again.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. AVI Fresh, the exclusive food service provider for Thiel College, and ComDoc and the DocuCenter at Thiel College. Thiel College is proud to partner with the Blue Gold Club, AVI Fresh, and ComDoc and the DocuCenter. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Kurt Reiser, head football coach. Follow the Thiel Tomcats right here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Again, we apologize, folks, for the technical difficulties. But third down pass from the 7. Pat Schaefer trying to throw to his tailback out of the backfield. Had it for a moment at the 1, but couldn't pull it in. And it's 4th down and goal. And the Tomcats are going to bring in their field goal kicker. And, of course, that is Colin Peel, the sophomore, with the quarterback Schaefer holding. The kick is up, and it's too low, I think.
Good.
No, he got it in there.
22
How
yards.
about Colin Peel from 24 yards? He's living right. It wasn't high, but it went through the upright. Went over the crossbar. And there's a timeout on the field after the field goal. Thiel by 10, 24-14 over Allegheny on 790 WPIC.
I'm Matt Achenbach, special teams coordinator and defensive backs.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. First National Bank, the home for all of your financial solutions, from banking to investments to insurance. Call the Greenville branch of First National Bank at 724-588-6770. St. Paul's, a continuing care community, providing a caring tradition since 1867. Visit St. Paul's online at lifeatstpauls.org. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Matt Achenbach, special teams coordinator and defensive backs coach. Follow the Thiel Tomcats right here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Sin Coach and Travel, proud to be the transportation provider for the Thiel Tomcats. Call 1-800-345-3435 or log on to
trailing 24-14.
Well, you know, it's opening day for everybody, Hugh, so we're experiencing a little technical difficulties up here, and I'm probably bumping something I shouldn't be bumping.
I don't think so, Don.
You know, I'll get my 6-year-old granddaughter up here to fix it for me, because that's what she does at home, so.
Well, I think we're good now.
Yeah, we'll be good. The Tomcats are good.
Yeah, the Cats now have a 10-point lead. We're concerned about Ryan Radke. Down below, Dr. Stuart Anderson from UPMC, an orthopedic specialist, is going through the concussion test with Radke as Deichler carries the football for Allegheny across the 40 to the 42. And was that Doak Walker who laid him out again?
Nice tackle that time.
And it's a gain of 7, however, making it 2nd and 3. Allegheny is starting to get a little more mojo here on offense, and I think they feel that they have a combination that can work here against Thiel. They're certainly hanging in this football game.
Well, somebody in the Tomcats needs to make a play to take that thought away.
Exactly. Nigro is in the gun on 2nd down and 3, and he's back. He looks, he throws, he's got that receiver, and there he goes. 30, 20, 15, 10, breaks away, 5, touchdown. And I'm going to tell you, they're going to have to get an answer for that young man, because he is some kind of a football player. Tyler Smith, a 5'8", 170-pound senior out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, DeLone Catholic High School, and he just took that ball to the house. How far, Don?
58 yards.
58 yards, making a couple of great moves in the secondary after catching about an 18-yard pass from Nigro, and he turned it into a big touchdown. It is now 24-20, and Allegheny's going to try to tack on point number 21, and the kick is up by Witkowski, and the kick is good. And we definitely have a ball game, and the Cats are losing steam here with their quarterback hurt, undergoing concussion tests. And it is now Thiel 24, Allegheny 21 on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. McElhaney Brothers, Inc., general contractors, providing premier residential and commercial remodeling in Grove City, Hermitage, and Greenville. Call 724-638-7056 to discuss custom renovations. The Thiel College Blue Gold Club, proudly supporting Thiel College athletic programs since 1990. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
This is John Herrickle, defensive coordinator. You're listening to the home of Thiel College Tomcat football. News Talk 790 WPIC.
All right, Allegheny pulls to within 3, and it is now 24-21 at the 2:22 mark of the second period. And Allegheny is set to kick off. The kickoff man is Chris Bourne, and he gets the end-over-end kick headed down inside the 10 to the 5. Paul Jones takes 10, 15, 20. Stutter step to the outside at the 30. Crosses the 30 to about the 32-yard line, where it is first down and 10 for Allegheny.
Nice return again by the young freshman. Again, down that sidelines where the Gators pinned him in, or he'd had a lot more gone. See Ryan Radke jogging on the sidelines. Maybe I don't see his helmet anywhere, so that may be wishful thinking on his spot, but we'll see. Hopefully,
he's wiping his eye and his nose.
Yeah, I think he had a bloody nose. He took a shot, and.
Well, you know, Dr. Anderson's talking to him and nodding his head, and Ryan, you know, keeps telling him he's okay, but we'll see. Pat Schaefer is the quarterback for Thiel in the meantime, and he has Daly behind him, and Daly's going to get the ball and go nowhere. He's going to be thrown for a 2-yard loss, and Don, it's a simple case. Your franchise quarterback is out of the ball game. These kids are Rhodes Scholars at Allegheny. They got this thing figured out. That's Thiel's offense. Run the ball. They can't do anything else is what it comes down to.
Timeout, Tom.
Timeout. We'll take a timeout on 790 WPIC.
We'll have to get him to work on that helmet halftime.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. AVI Fresh, the exclusive food service provider for Thiel College, and CompDoc and the DocuCenter at Thiel College. Thiel College is proud to partner with the Blue Gold Club, AVI Fresh, and CompDoc and the DocuCenter. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Ryan Matvico, wide receivers coach. You're listening to the home of Thiel Tomcat football. News Talk 790 WPIC.
Back at Alumni Stadium, Hugh Ringer and Don Achenbach. 2:05 remaining until halftime. Thiel is leading by 3, 24-21.
Tell you what, though, Hugh, Ryan Radke may not be on the field, but he was in the middle of that huddle and giving his little dissertation to his teammates, and we'll see if they listened.
All right, Pat Schaefer on 2nd down and 12 from his own 33 is in the gun with 4 wides. Let's see what happens here. All right, he's back. He's going to air it out. He's got his receiver, and it's caught by Paul Jones.
Yep.
Up across the 45 at the 46. Nice throw by the young man from California,
yeah,
Pat Schaefer.
Don't discount this kid. He's a 4-year player. He's been in the program for 4 years. He's a bright kid. He's been in every meeting. He's been at every practice, and he played quite a bit last year.
1st and 10 Thiel on their own 46. Schaefer back. He looks. He throws to Horvitis at the 50. He's got it. Steps out of bounds. 45. It's another, not a first down yet, but good gain of about 9 with 1:41 remaining until halftime.
Tomcats running a 2-minute drill with 1:41 left in the half, and Pat Schaefer looks very professional right now.
He's been around long enough. He knows how to do it. He checks his cheat sheet a little bit and communicates to his wide receiver, Tajudin, on the side. Do we have another timeout called, or what do we have? Allegheny timeout. We'll take a timeout on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. The Greens of Greenville. Log on to greensofgreenville.com. And Ilsko Extrusions Incorporated, one of the industry's most efficient aluminum extrusion mills for more than 60 years, and proud to support Thiel College. Log on to ilskoextrusions.com for more information. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Mike Donato, linebacker coach of the Tomcats. Follow the Thiel Tomcats right here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
All right, here we go, folks. A minute 41 left. Thiel is in Allegheny territory at the Gators' 45-yard line, leading by 3. And they face a 2nd and 1 with backup quarterback Pat Schaefer in the football game. And again, Ryan Radke's running around on the sidelines. I have a feeling we're going to see him in the second half. Here's the swing pass to Daly. 45-40. 35, lowers his head and runs out of bounds. Saves time with 1:33 left. Very good move by a freshman transfer.
And a very good pass by Pat Schaefer. Gave him and led him. A lot of times quarterbacks will throw that behind him and he'll have to stop and lose his momentum. That was put right on his hands and he just never had to break stride.
I like the touch from the young man, Pat Schaefer. Here's Schaefer back, going to throw Franker screen to Urbanus. He's at the 30. He's at the 25, and he's down to the 21-yard line. I'll tell you, Pat Schaefer is executing the daylights out of this offense right now.
What you want to do here if you're Pat Schaefer, protect the football, move the chains. Protect the football, move the chains, and that's what he's doing on the last 3 or 4 possessions.
Clock runs inside the 120 mark of a 24-21 Thiel ball game. Schaefer from the 21 of Allegheny, swing pass to Daly. Daly's going to be tackled after a shorter game this time out of bounds over on the far side at about the 18-yard line. A Gator is slow to get up. Daly's right up and running back to the huddle.
I'm not exactly sure why they kept the clock running that time.
Yeah, why is the clock running?
Well, his knee must have gone down on the before he went out of bounds.
Running down to the 52nd mark here, and Schaefer trying to get people lined up. Ronnie Howard goes right to left. A lot of time being wasted. It's going to be snapped with about 40 seconds left. Back is Schaefer, going to air it out down the side. He has the catch, Jones, but he couldn't hold on. He was juggling and could not come down with a football and keep a foot in bounds, Don.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, just to watch that athleticism, to get up in the air like that, the defender had him covered. And he went right up and took the ball over the top of it. That is just so much fun to watch. We've seen that happen to our defensive backs so many times over the years. To see it happen to somebody else is refreshing.
So it is 3rd down and 7 with 38.3 seconds remaining at the 18-yard line. This is not, in my opinion, field goal territory for our young kicker.
Not yet.
So let's see what Schaefer can do. He's going to roll to the left. He's going to stop. He's under pressure. He gets away. He throws. Pass is caught. It's caught. Is that Ronnie Howard?
Howard made a nice
who made the catch inside the 10 at the 8. And that's a first down with 30 seconds left. And a timeout for Thiel. And we'll take a timeout on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Greenville Orthopedic Association and Doctors John Scullin and Stuart Anderson, specializing in the treatment of sports medicine, total joint surgery, and arthroscopic surgery. Call 800-245-8100 to make an appointment. And Greenville Moose Family Center, Lodge 276. Fun and fellowship for everyone. Log on to lodge276mooseunits.org. For more information, go to thiel.edu.
I'm Daryl Satterfield, offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. You're listening to Thiel Tomcat football on News Talk 790 WPIC.
You know, that was a great catch by Ronnie Howard, folks. He juggled it. It was a tough ball to catch. He was on his back. He juggled it, and he caught the ball at the 8-yard line to give Thiel a 1st and goal with 30.4 seconds remaining. And, you know, this drive, Don, is being engineered by the senior quarterback who really has not played a whole lot of varsity football for Thiel over the years. And I got to say, Pat Schaefer doing an excellent job. And we do want to let all of our fans know that he has really been coached and coached well by the greatest quarterback I've seen at Thiel College in my years of broadcasting, Darryl Satterfield, who is now the offensive coordinator, led Thiel to the only undefeated season in 2005. All right, first and goal, shotgun for Pat Schaefer with 4 wides. He's back. He looks. He thinks, he's going down back at the 17-yard line. That is huge. That is a tremendously big sack for Allegheny, and making that play for the Gators, Max Sessions, a defensive lineman out of Bethesda, Maryland, and another timeout for Thiel. We'll take a timeout on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Sin Coach and Travel, proud to be the transportation provider for the Thiel Tomcats. Call 1-800-345-3435 or log on to goanderson.com. SCP Group, offering a wide selection of services including graphic design, offset and digital printing, wide format printing, mailing services, trade show materials, and digital marketing. Log on to scpgroup.net. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm RJ Molson, defensive line coach. You're listening to Thiel Tomcat football on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Well, the Tomcats are in a real pickle now, folks. Second and goal on the 18-yard line after the sack of Pat Schaefer, and he's back, and he's throwing, and did we catch that ball? Yes, a touchdown right down the middle to Paul Jones, the freshman from Newcastle High School. How about that, Paul Jones?
When you find yourself in a pickle, make relish.
That is right, and he made delicious relish. It's better than French's could ever make. Or Heinz. Any of them. That is beautiful. An 18-yard touchdown pass right down the middle of the zone to the freshman Paul Jones.
Great pass, great catch.
All right, Colin Peel is in to kick, and he makes it good. He continues his perfect night with 18 seconds remaining until halftime. How about the Cats, Don? They now lead it 31-21 over Allegheny, and we'll keep it right here.
You know, Paul Jones has caught, I think, 3 passes today, and I don't think he's caught one with his feet on the ground.
Paul Jones
been up in the air, and Pat Schaefer put that ball where the only person on the field who could catch it was number 81 in blue.
Paul Jones is an amazing athlete, and you look at the size of his feet, he could grow 5 more inches.
Well, what's incredible is he's only been in the program a couple of weeks or so through summer camp. He wasn't here for spring, wasn't here for last year, and for him to pick up the offense, so many times we see athletes with great potential, but it takes them 4 or 5 games to get their game legs going. This kid is in here, and he's ready to go, and I think that makes up for the fumble.
Well, I'll tell you, look at Dr. Troy Van Aken down there behind the bench congratulating the Tomcats. That was really, really something. And Paul Jones made that big mistake on that muff on the punt, and we felt bad for him because, he probably isn't that used to returning punts, and he made a very bad decision. But, boy, he has made up for it in spades. Thiel 31-21, and here is the Peel kickoff down to the 27, taken by Deichler, and man, is Deichler rocked. Who made that hit? Give that guy credit, number 39 for Thiel.
Randy Groves, he flew in like he knew where the ball was going to be and just drilled him kamikaze-like.
Hey, Randy Groves, you know how to play special teams, young man. Let's give him an extra shout-out. Mr. Randy Groves, only another of the freshmen, strong safety, 5'11", 170, out of New Middletown, Ohio, and Springfield High School. You're going to see a lot of action on special teams, young man, if you're going to hit like that. The ball's on the 35-yard line, Allegheny's own 35, and they have 14.1 ticks on the clock. They've made a great comeback of their own to get right in this ball game.
They're going to take a knee, Hugh.
And they're going to take a knee, and that pass catch by Jones on the pass from Thiel's backup quarterback really took some of the steam out of their sails. Pat Schaefer. Schaefer to Jones, and we have reached halftime. Stay tuned. Special guest, Jack Lee Pimer, retiring athletic director. He'll be next with Don Achenbach after this 3-minute commercial break. on News Talk 790. It is 31-21 Thiel over Allegheny here on WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Seancey's Motel, located at 399 Mercer Road. Log on to seancey'smotel.com or call 724-588-8550 for more information. Remember to ask for the Thiel discount. And UPMC Horizon, life-changing medicine. Log on to upmc.com. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more information about Thiel College, go to thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. McElhaney Brothers, Inc., general contractors, providing premier residential and commercial remodeling in Grove City, Hermitage, and Greenville. Call 724-638-7056 to discuss custom renovations. The Thiel College Blue Gold Club, proudly supporting Thiel College athletic programs since 1990. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. TDA, Then Design Architecture, proud to provide architectural and design services for Thiel College. Log on to thendesign.com. Eckley's TV and Appliance Center, located at 672 Mercer Road in Greenville. Call 724-588-7690 or log on to eckley'sappliance.com. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Greenville Orthopedic Association and Doctors John Scullin and Stuart Anderson, specializing in the treatment of sports medicine, total joint surgery, and arthroscopic surgery. Call 800-245-8100 to make an appointment. And Greenville Moose Family Center, Lodge 276. Fun and fellowship for everyone. Log on to lodge276mooseunits.org. For more information, go to thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. First National Bank, the home for all of your financial solutions, from banking to investments to insurance. Call the Greenville branch of First National Bank at 724-588-6770. St. Paul's, a continuing care community, providing a caring tradition since 1867. Visit St. Paul's online at lifeatstpauls.org. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. TDA, Then Design Architecture, proud to provide architectural and design services for Thiel College. Log on to thendesign.com. Eckley's TV and Appliance Center, located at 672 Mercer Road in Greenville. Call 724-588-7690 or log on to eckley'sappliance.com. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Dan Ross, running backs coach of the Tomcats. You're listening to the home of Thiel Tomcat football, News Talk 790 WPIC.
Welcome back to Alumni Stadium on the beautiful campus of Thiel College in Greenville, Pennsylvania. We're on opening night for the Thiel Tomcats hosting the Allegheny Gators, and right now the Tomcats are in front 31-21 at halftime. Don Achenbach and Hugh Ringer bringing it to you live on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. The Greens of Greenville. Log on to greensofgreenville.com. And Ilsko Extrusions Incorporated, one of the industry's most efficient aluminum extrusion mills for more than 60 years, and proud to support Thiel College. Log on to ilskoextrusions.com for more information. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Sionci's Motel, located at 399 Mercer Road. Log on to sioncysmotel.com or call 724-588-8550 for more information. Remember to ask for the Thiel discount. And UPMC Horizon, life-changing medicine. Log on to upmc.com. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more information about Thiel College, go to thiel.edu. Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Greenville Orthopedic Association and Doctors John Scullin and Stuart Anderson, specializing in the treatment of sports medicine, total joint surgery, and arthroscopic surgery. Call 800-245-8100 to make an appointment. And Greenville Moose Family Center, Lodge 276. Fun and fellowship for everyone. Log on to lodge276mooseunits.org. For more information, go to teal.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Sin Coach and Travel, proud to be the transportation provider for the Thiel Tomcats. Call 1-800-345-3435 or log on to goanderson.com. SCP Group, offering a wide selection of services including graphic design, offset and digital printing, wide format printing, mailing services, trade show materials, and digital marketing. Log on to scpgroup.net. For more details about Thiel College, log on to teal.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Sionci's Motel, located at 399 Mercer Road. Log on to sioncysmotel.com or call 724-588-8550 for more information. Remember to ask for the Thiel discount. And UPMC Horizon, life-changing medicine. Log on to upmc.com. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more information about Thiel College, go to teal.edu.
I'm Dan Ross, running backs coach of the Tomcats. You're listening to the home of Thiel Tomcat football, News Talk 790 WPIC.
Welcome back to Alumni Stadium, Stober Field. Don Achenbach, Hugh Ringer. It is halftime where the Thiel Tomcats in their home opener are leading the Allegheny Gators 31-21. And it is my very good pleasure to have as a guest today in our halftime show the retiring athletic director, Coach Jack Liefheimer. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well, John. Thanks.
14 years went by in a flash, didn't it?
It really did. It really did. It's hard to believe that we've come to this stage of the game.
I'll tell you, it's hard for me to watch old teammates retire because that just tells me the clock's ticking for all of us. But I'll tell you, with 14 years, Coach, what are some of the memories you have? You've done an incredible job. I've said this from day one. This place is so much better because Jack Liefheimer came to town and came back to town, I should say. What are some of your best memories? Obviously the 2005 football team, but let's go beyond that.
Well, you know, I've been very blessed that we had a lot of good people work here that I've been associated with, and I got way too much credit as the head coach. I got way too much credit as the athletic director.
And that is me giving raspberries to that thought, folks.
Well, I really, you know, I'm humbled by all the things that have transpired, but to be able to sit up here and look down on that field, you know, where you and I practiced in the mud and everything else, and
with the lights from the academic center.
Yep, and to see these lights on and the kids out there playing. You know, obviously the 2005 team was a special team and a special year, and you know, the dome. I mean,
who would have thought, huh? Who would have thought the impact that would have had on a campus?
To have that thing going on, and you know, we're very fortunate. We're in a great position here at Thiel College at this time, and you know, I tell you, like, when you stop and think about timing of everything, you know, I came to Thiel at the right time.
We're not into karma, Coach. You came to Thiel at the right time to do these things.
Well,
you got the ball fields, you got the this, you got the Pettis Center. So much good things happening on campus. Coach, what's changed in the 14 years? You've been in athletics all your life. Your whole career has been in either high school, college, a lot. You know, you spent Allegheny. This has got to be bittersweet for you. You won a national championship up there. And but what have you seen the biggest changes in athletics over the course of your career?
Wow, what a question.
Yeah, I know. I stayed up all night looking that one up.
You know, I guess the biggest change really has been the prevalence of women's sports and how much they've been able to grow and develop and be able to put resources into it. I think has been phenomenal for the young women out there, and I think that's probably been the biggest change that I've witnessed in my time frame. Because back when we played, we had two sports for women, basketball and volleyball. That was it. And
in homemade uniforms.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And then to see that change and grow, and
it's so much more than just Title IX, isn't it?
Oh,
yes. There's so much more athletic. The workouts, the whole bit. It's just so exciting to see.
Exactly right. And so I think overall that's probably been the biggest change that I've seen. And then I think we're much more sensitive to player safety. And it's it's in the utmost.
You saw that tonight with Ryan Radke.
Yep, it's the utmost concern of everybody. We talk about the weather that took place last night. All the decisions that were made to delay games or cancel games had student athlete safety in mind. And back in the day, heck, we weren't even allowed water breaks, and things like that. So
thought water was bad.
Right. The changes that way have been just tremendous.
Don Achenbach with Jack Liebheimer here at halftime. Tomcats leading Allegheny 31-21. Coach, I'm going to ask you another question. That's going to be a little bit. You're in a profession where coaches change jobs more often than they change their socks. But if you look at Thiel and your tenure here, we've had very little turnover in the major sports. You got basically one football coach since yourself, one basketball coach, same wrestling coach, same baseball coach, same softball coach who's now going to assume the athletic director's job too, and that's just a dynamite hire. How have you managed to keep these guys? Because you've got quality people in all these spots, and we've managed to keep them at Thiel. How do you do that?
Well, I think, obviously it starts in the very beginning. You hire good people. But I think it's been a commitment from our administration. The things that we have done in athletics cannot happen without backing from the administration all the way through. And, the Dr. Van Aken and his passion for athletics and the student-athlete experience has been phenomenal. So, he does everything he possibly can to give us the resources that we need to run quality programs. I think we have a good quality of life for our coaches. It's not unusual for me to get a phone call and say, hey, babysitter didn't come today, or I'm sick, I need to do this. Okay, fine, go. Do what you got to do. Family comes first, and so I think that's probably why. Do we have the greatest facilities? No, but doggone it, we make do with what we've got, and we make it the best we possibly can.
And you guys do an incredible job, and you make us so proud to be Thiel alums. And speaking of that, you saw today with Ryan Radke coming out, you saw Pat Schaefer, a 4-year student. To me, he is the prototypical Thiel College student-athlete. Been here for 4 years, maybe not be the most talented kid down the block, but neither was I. But you come there, you sit in the meetings, you learn, you play. When your time comes, you throw a touchdown pass that gives your team the lead at halftime. How many of those kids have you coached and seen over the years, Coach?
Uncountable, and that's the thing, that's the greatest thing about athletics, is that it teaches you that your chance, you never know when it's going to come, and you've got to be ready. And, to have a young man like him do what he did, take that drive down at the very end there. He almost scored the previous drive. Didn't miss a beat. Is he as athletic? No. So we may not run the same type of plays, but he can conduct the offense, and that's a testament to his dedication to the sport and to the coaches and to the system, and that's good stuff.
He's just a good kid.
Yeah.
Don Achenbach with Jack Liebheimer at halftime. Tomcats leading the Allegheny Gators 31-21. Coach, talk about your replacement, Coach Schaefer.
Well,
what's she bringing to the party?
Well, she's bringing youth. She's bringing.
Come on.
She's bringing. She's
energetic.
She is. She's so technologically savvy that it's unbelievable, and she's worked really, really hard to get to this point in her career. She spent a year ago, she was selected by the NCAA for the NCAA Pathway Program. Don, they only pick 8 people in the country for this program.
She was one of them.
2 in Division III, 2 in Division II, 2 in 1AA, and 2 in Division I. And so she was one of 2 people for all of Division III in the nation to be selected for this program to conduct that training. So, she's done everything she's needed to do to position herself to assume the role of Director of Athletics. I think she'll do a great job. And our coaches have been very supportive of her when they found out that was what was going to happen. So I'm really excited for that.
I'm looking forward to
it,
too.
Me too.
Coach, I've got a question for you, trivia question. Who was the offensive coordinator when you won the national title at Allegheny?
Joe Philbin.
What's he doing now?
Head coach of the Dolphins.
And I heard you say one time that you love D3. Yep. Coach, you have the talent. You could have been right up there, but you hung with D3. Why?
Well, because, it never was about money for me. It was never about ego. It was never, it wasn't about me. It was about the kids. And my whole thing was I wanted to impact the lives positively of young men. And then when I assumed these roles, to impact the lives of as many student athletes as I possibly could, and also young coaches. And, every day, if we can just try to be a little bit better and reach your full potential, I mean, that's what it's always been about for me, and that's.
I use that phrase about once a week, Coach.
Yeah, I do too. My girls, Shannon and Krista, they're always kidding. And my grandson Dylan, I try to, we're trying to throw that at him too, a little bit. So we're going to keep it going.
So what's the future for Coach Liebheimer?
Well, I'm going to take February off. Patty, my wife, Patty, 42 years, is going to retire also. She works in the student life office. And we're going to go down to Florida for the month of February. And then when I talked to Dr. Van Aken, he was very, very gracious when I told him that I wanted to retire. He said, well, I don't think you're done yet. And I was like, well, okay. And he said, well, how about sticking around and continuing to raise money for athletics in a part-time role? We'll work on your schedule, on your time, and let's find a way to make it work. And so we've met several times, and I think it's going to work out well. And so I'm going to take a little break in February, but then I'm going to be back at it and trying to go out and meet with alumni and continue to try to raise money. We want to build a track here.
Yep.
I was standing down there on the sideline with Joe Shawley, our baseball coach, and I said, man, Joe, we'd like to have lights down at the baseball field, wouldn't we? And he says, yeah, you're not kidding. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that we'd like to do. We're going to need to replace the tennis courts.
Yep.
So, there's a lot of money that needs to be raised, and with a little bit of luck and stuff, that we'll get our alumni to step up behind, and back these programs and these improvements, and we'll continue to make a difference.
We're sorry to see you go. 14 years went by in a blink, but I'll tell you what, the one good thing that comes out of your leaving is the clock starts ticking towards your eventual admission to the Thiel Hall of Fame, buddy, because you're going to be there. If I have to fix the votes, you will be there, because you have been the face of Thiel athletics for a decade and a half. And the way this place is so much better today than it was when you walked through the Brother Martin's Walk. We can't say enough good things about you, and good luck in your retirement. We'll see you a couple more games down the road, I'm sure.
Sure will, but thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This is Don Achenbach. It's halftime. We'll be back with some stats and some information, and Hugh Ringer will rejoin us. You're listening to Thiel Tomcat Football on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics: Greenville Orthopedic Association and Doctors John Scullin and Stuart Anderson, specializing in the treatment of sports medicine, total joint surgery, and arthroscopic surgery. Call 800-245-8100 to make an appointment. And Greenville Moose Family Center, Lodge 276. Fun and fellowship for everyone. Log on to lodge276mooseunits.org. For more information, go to thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Coach and Travel, proud to be the transportation provider for the Thiel Tomcats. Call 1-800-345-3435 or log on to goanderson.com. SCP Group, offering a wide selection of services including graphic design, offset and digital printing, wide format printing, mailing services, trade show materials, and digital marketing. Log on to scpgroup.net. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu. Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. TDA, Then Design Architecture, proud to provide architectural and design services for Thiel College. Log on to thendesign.com. Eckley's TV and Appliance Center, located at 672 Mercer Road in Greenville. Call 724-588-7690 or log on to eckleysappliance.com. For more details about Thiel College, Log on to Thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. McElhaney Brothers, Inc., general contractors, providing premier residential and commercial remodeling in Grove City, Hermitage, and Greenville. Call 724-638-7056 to discuss custom renovations. The Thiel College Blue Gold Club, proudly supporting Thiel College athletic programs since 1990. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to Thiel.edu. Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. AVI Fresh, the exclusive food service provider for Thiel College, and CompDoc and the DocuCenter at Thiel College. Thiel College is proud to partner with the Blue Gold Club, AVI Fresh, and CompDoc and the DocuCenter. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to Thiel.edu.
I'm Kurt Reiser, head football coach. Follow the Thiel Tomcats right here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Hugh Ringer and Don Achenbach back at Alumni Stadium. It's halftime, about set for the third quarter. Thiel 31, Allegheny 21. Brian Radke, good news, has his helmet on. Looks like he's going to play here at the start of the third quarter after suffering a head injury and a cut midway through the second quarter. Don, let's go back to you quickly for some stats for the first half.
First downs, Tomcats 17, Allegheny 6. Rushing yards, Tomcats 172, Allegheny 24. Passing, Tomcats 155, Allegheny 178. Let's go individuals. Ryan Radke, 7 carries for 78. Kevin Daly, 8 carries for 63. Passing, Radke 7 of 11 for 73. Pat Schaefer 7 of 10 for 82. The rest we can catch later because they're coming back on the field.
All right, and you remember that Allegheny won the toss and deferred to the second half, as everybody does. So the Gators are going to get the football here. Thiel, of course, with that tremendous pass from Pat Schaefer, the backup quarterback, to a leaping freshman wide receiver, Paul Jones of Newcastle, in the end zone, up the Tomcat lead to 10 at the half. So the Tomcats, as we say, will kick off, and Colin Peel, the sophomore out of Point Pleasant High School in Clinty, West Virginia, is set to do the honors, and deep to receive for Allegheny and twin safeties. Back at the 10-yard line are Tyler Smith, who has been a real thorn in the Tomcat side in this football game, and Jonah Tanner. All right, here comes the kick from Thiel. End over end, and it's short down to the 20, and here comes Tyler Smith. 25, 30, and out to about the 34-yard line, where he is brought down by one of the Cats on special teams, and it looks like the young man who made that play is that Randy Groves again?
Yep.
I think so. He's made 2, yes, and he gets a nice hand from his special teams coach.
To build on your Tyler Smith story, he's accounted for about 105 total yards for the Gators in the first half.
Yep, he is definitely a force. He's been a difference maker. He's kept them in this football game. All right, Allegheny comes out with 4 wides, and the junior quarterback, John Nagro, is in the gun with a tailback behind him on 1st and 10 from the 34, and he gives it to Dickler. Dickler is at the 35, and a host of tacklers bring him down for Thiel at about the 38-yard line, 37.5-yard line, and Don, you know who that host might have included.
It included who we always include, Riley Shane, and also Cameron Neal, who held him up, and Riley took care of him.
Cameron Neal, of course, is the freshman from Slippery Rock. The front 4, Riley Shane and Jeremy Stefine, are the ends. Cam Neal and Nick Rabita, the tackles. Shane Russell, Jake Elk, and Doak Walker Jr. are the linebackers. All right, 2nd down and 7 for Nigro and Allegheny, and the pass is incomplete, and good coverage out there in that flat by the Tomcat linebacker Shane Russell on that side.
Nice job there by Shane. Doak Walker Jr. had 3 tackles in his freshman debut. to lead the Tomcat defense in the first half. So he's got a nose for a football, and he knows what to do when he gets there.
And he loves to hit. The cornerbacks are Chris Jones, the junior, and sophomore Trey Andrews. The safeties for Thiel, Aaron Mason, the strong safety, the sophomore, and Joe Sarator, the sophomore, is the free safety. All right, 3rd down and 7 for Allegheny. Nigro is in the gun, and he is back. He's going to step up. He sees an opening. He stumbles. He gets away at the 40, the 45, and he's got first down yardage to midfield before the Cats run him out of bounds in the person of Doak Walker Jr.
Yeah, the Gators sent everybody deep down that. Tomcat secondary turned their backs and started chasing and ran a little Ryan Radke on us and did a quarterback draw and got enough for the first down right there at midfield.
Well, he's an above-average athlete.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that, and he has experience. He had a good year last year throwing for 1,660 yards in a 10-game season.
He's got a helmet, too.
Yes, he does. John Nigro is going to be in the gun, 1st and 10 at midfield. Cats by 10, early 3rd quarter. The give to Deichler, and Deichler is not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, that dog won't hunt.
Yeah, the Cats are going to bring him to a stop there at midfield. And
Nick Ravita.
Yeah, Ravita was a guy who was very much in on that play for Thiel.
He also had a couple of nice plays in the first half. We're starting to see, again, this is how exceptional this freshman class may end up being. They're making in their first half of their first game, they're making key contributions on both sides of the ball, plus special teams. Can't ask for more now.
Well, they have no fewer than 6 starters on their 2 deep tonight who are true freshmen. All right, 2nd and 10 for Allegheny at midfield. Nigro sends a man in motion. He's going to play fake, and he's going to actually give it to Deichler, and Deichler is going to be stopped again for absolutely nothing. Cam Neal and Riley Shane were there.
Get used to hearing that combination, folks. You're going to hear that a lot.
And Michael Sekerchak is in on defense as the coach on defense is obviously putting in some fresh bodies now and then.
Want to get fresh legs. Big 3rd down play here. The Tomcats need to get off the field. Give this defense a rest.
Let's see what defensive coordinator can dial up here for the Cats. All right, Nigro in the gun on 3rd and 11 after a loss of 1. He rolls to the right. He's got Elk chasing him, and he throws, but the receiver is going to catch the ball for a first down inside the Thiel 40 at the 37. Now, what is the flag?
I'm thinking it might be holding.
All right, well, let's hope it's not roughing the passer.
No, it was early.
No, the guys in the white shirts are coming back.
Yeah, I think we got holding. It was early on.
Okay. John Herrickle, the defensive coordinator, who does a great job, will be pleased with that.
Yeah, they brought one of their running backs out to block one of our big guys, and he couldn't do it, so he tackled him.
And that really helps Thiel because the penalty takes it back to Allegheny's 40-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 21 now, Don.
Yeah, that's a big play. Now, this is a big play for the Cats. Let's see if we can get some pressure. I think Coach Herrickle, see if he wants to dial something up and bring somebody from the offside maybe and see if we can get him to throw a pick.
The pressure's been okay, but it hasn't been real good today, Don.
Hasn't been consistent.
No, it really hasn't. All right, and they're trying to get it from the front 4. Nigro is in the gun, and he's going straight back. Here comes some pressure, and he releases, and he's not going to go anywhere. Going to be tackled at the 41-yard line. And who read that play beautifully? One of our linebackers?
Yeah, that was Nick Rivada again, and also number 47, Shane Russell. Did a nice job.
Yeah.
And we got some nice pressure that time from the outside by we brought the cornerback in, number 9, Aaron Mason came in up in the strong safety position and put some pressure, made him throw the ball a little sooner than he wanted to. Tomcats cleaned up nicely.
All right, Allegheny's going to punt the football away. Chris Bourne standing back at the 26, and Daly is back to receive this punt for Thiel, replacing Andrews. Fair catch back at the 15-yard line, or 16.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. He made the fair catch call, then he caught the ball and then put his hand up again just to remind the thundering herd that he had hit.
He said, don't hit me, don't hit me. I had it up there. So the fair catch is going to put it down at the 16-yard line. Good punt that time by Chris Bourne. And he puts Thiel.
Number 13, sorry, you didn't mean to talk over you.
It's all right. He puts Thiel in some tough field position, but they've been in worse. And yes, Ryan Radke, the junior quarterback, after taking a whack to the head and getting some attention from the medical staff, is back in to start this second half. But again, kudos to his backup, Pat Schaefer, for a great job. And he gives it straight ahead to, let's see, in that ball game for Thiel now is Evan Imgrund, who started the football game. Imgrund is the other freshman running back we've seen tonight from Claysburg-Kimmel High School. Now, I don't know where that is exactly, but it's out in District 6 or District 5 if you're a PIAA aficionado. All right, it's a gain of 4. Make it 2nd down and 6 for Thiel at the 20-yard line. Ronnie Howard and Alex Horvitis are your wide receivers.
2 tight ends.
And we have 2 tights, so does that mean we run the ball? Radke is under center. Shifts Howard a little bit and gives it off to Imgrund, and he's going nowhere. He's going to be stopped right at the 20-yard line. Ball comes free, but it was after the whistle. Imgrund is going to be put down at about the 21-yard line, setting up a gain of 1 maybe. It's going to be 3rd and 5 now for Thiel.
Now it's going to be interesting to see it with the Tomcats and offense coordinator Darryl Satterfield call up here. Are they going to try to throw the ball down the field? Or are they going to see if Ryan's legs can do it? In the past, it would have always been Ryan running this thing. But after taking that whack, you may want to see if maybe look for maybe the possession receiver Horvitis to move to 6.
He's to the right, to Juden, and Howard to the left. Here is the throw to the other side to Juden, too wide at the 25, so that was not a very good series for Thiel. They don't move it, and they're going to have to punt the football, and Squires is going to come in and do the kicking for Thiel. Dylan Squires, the sophomore from Harbor Creek High School in Erie.
This will be his 2nd punt of the night for the Tomcats, so it tells you how good the Tomcat offense has been.
First time he had to punt from his own, the heels on the end line, and got a good punt away. Now he's out to the 6, where he will stand to take the snap here from the long snapper. And it's a good one from Colin Paghetti, and a good line drive kick by Squires, clear over the head of the defender, bouncing at the 25, bouncing down to the 22, and I'll tell you, you're not going to see better punting in the NFL. He got tremendous distance, not hang time, but distance.
About a 60-some-yard punt.
Yeah, down to the 22, and he probably got that thing away where? At about the 8?
Yeah.
So from his own 8 to the other end of the field at the 22, that's a heck of a punt.
That's a heck of a punt, and that gives the Tomcat defense a little bit of breathing room now. Let's see if we can continue on and get some pressure on this quarterback and see if we can make him pop the ball up.
We haven't had a turnover yet. Let's see if the Cats can get one.
New quarterback?
Is Nigro not in there?
Looks like Logan Lee, a freshman.
Really?
Number 14.
Okay, Lee in the football game. And he called his own number, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think he did.
Not a really good thing to do.
No, Logan Lee, a freshman out of Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. 6'3", 190. Doesn't look like a runner to me.
No, sophomore Jake Elk. He looks like a prototypical stand-in-the-pocket quarterback, but I don't know. I don't see if Nigro's injured over there or not. But,
I don't know.
Or maybe just making to see if he can get some spark going.
Well, Logan Lee is your quarterback, and he has Jawan Campbell, the backup tailback, beside him. Here's the fake. Who's going to get the ball? Campbell does, and the Tomcats are getting him, baby. He tried to get away from a mess of tacklers and actually lost yardage back to the 19-yard line.
Saratori.
And was that Saratori in there who made that tackle? And Doak Walker's pretty excited. He was in on it.
Yeah, they made a lot of hits. A lot of people hit him, but Saratori's the one who brought him down. Now we set up 2nd and, by the way, about 3rd and 10 now.
Yep, 3rd down and a long 10.
Offsides on the Tomcats.
Oh, is that right?
Okay.
Well, that's going to make it an easier 3rd down situation.
Yeah, I think
instead of 3rd and 10, 3rd and 5 from the 27.
Riley Shane got his helmet across the line, lined up in the neutral zone, so that makes it a 2nd and 5 now.
8:39 remaining 3rd quarter. 31-21 Thiel over Allegheny. Glad you're with us in the season opener from Alumni Stadium. All right, Logan Lee is back. He is hit. He's trying to get away. Shane slowed him down, and the tackle is made by the Tomcat defensive lineman,
Nick Ravita.
Nick Ravita out of McKeesport High School.
job, Riley Shane. Fought through the block, got him in there, hit him, just couldn't bring him down. He spun away, and Revita was right there to slam him to the turf. So that makes up for the 5-yard offside penalty.
Sure does.
About a 10-yard drop.
That moves it back to the 18-yard line, Don. It's now 3rd and 14.
Tomcats need to get some pressure now. They need to bring somebody off the edge, get this young freshman to get flustered a little bit, maybe throw it to a guy in blue.
All right. Campbell is the tailback behind your quarterback, Logan Lee, and Lee is back, and he's going to run. He's calling his own number, and he is not going to get the first down, but he gets up to the 27-yard line, where the Cats get him down about 5 yards shy of first down yardage.
Good job by the Tomcat D that time. He was running. I don't think that was a design play. I think the Tomcats, led by Riley Shane, were coming, and they were bringing everybody with them, and I think the young man just didn't know what else to do. So when most young people like that, they're going to just tuck the ball and try to do it with their legs, and fortunately the Tomcats got him before he got the first down.
Chris Bourne will stand on his own 12 to kick the football. Kevin Daly is again back to receive for Thiel, back at his own 35, and this kick is going to sail, and he's going to fair catch the ball inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. Now, I noticed he didn't wave the arm the second time.
No, that's good. He learned. He's a freshman. He's learning. He's a quick study. But I tell you, by catching that, making that fair catch, and that traffic like that, that shows a gutsy ball. But if he hadn't have done that, that ball runs, and it's going to do the same thing what we did to the Gators, and probably lost another 15 or 20 yards for the Tomcat offense. So now that Ryan's shaking the cobwebs off a little bit, let's see if we can get this offense in gear and get some more points on the board.
Well, we come out with Daly at the tailback, and you've got Justin Zinsmeister as the blocking fullback and 2 wides. And with Radke under center, looks like a run. And he gives it off this time to Daly. And Daly is in the open at the 40 and up to the 45-yard line. He has himself about 15 yards on that play and a 1st and 10 for the Thiel Tomcats.
How long has it been since we've seen acceleration like that through the hole? You know, he's got, first of all, the offensive line. Kudos to them for blowing a hole big enough to drive a truck through, but then watch him accelerate through that hole. He picked up probably 7 or 8 yards after the first contact.
Well, I'll tell you, you have to like Kevin Daly.
I like all these guys.
We're going to have to find out. Kevin Daly is from Oil City High School, but his residence is Sharon. All right. Here's the give again to Daly, and Daly's second effort, spinning and twisting up to midfield. He has 5 more yards, Don.
He didn't play for Sharon, did he?
No, I don't think he did, but you notice his hometown is Sharon, and he went to Oil City High School.
Huh.
We're going to have to find out how that works.
Figure out how that works.
Yeah.
Bet you the Sharon Tigers aren't happy with that. Especially after watching him tonight. I know who is happy about him, and that's Coach Kurt Reiser.
Yeah, Kurt Reiser's glad to have him. He's loving him better on every play. Not a real big kid, but boy, he can scoot. Again, we've got the eye with Zinsmeister as the blocker on 2nd and 5. Radke under center. Cats look like they're in a run mode again. Let's see. The give is to Daly, and Daly's going to hit the right side this time, stumble a bit, finds a hole, and cuts it across the 45 to the 41-yard line, and he has 9 yards on that play, and he's moving the pile, Don, and moving the sticks, too.
And this is classic Kurt Reiser, Thiel Tomcat football. This is what he's wanted to do since he's been the head coach. Line up, run. I mean, everybody runs this run and gun. They run the read option. They run the fun and gun. They run all this stuff. Nobody knows how to stop 2 tight ends and a fullback. And I think the Tomcats are dishing it out right now.
Yes, they certainly are, and kudos to that offensive line. We'll have to run that group down again because they're doing a nice job.
Eating clock, too.
All right, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now here's Radke straight back. Airing it out. Paul Jones. Jones has run. Oh, he dropped the ball. It was a little bit too far, but doggone it, it looked to me like Jones, with his speed, was going to run under it.
He caught up to it. I think he got held up a little bit. He's got to learn how to get separation, and that was one of those catches that you just directly over your head. That's the toughest catch in football. It's a tough catch in baseball where it's directly over your head. He got both hands on it, and that's a catch somewhere down the road you'll see him make.
Yeah. So it's 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line of Allegheny. 4:58, third quarter, 31-21 Thiel over the Gators. Radke in the gun. Here comes the blitz. He's back. He's going to run around. He's trying to get away from a couple of big linemen. They have him hemmed in. He throws down the field, that skips in front of the intended receiver. And that intended receiver, I believe, was going to be Robbie Thompson, was it not?
Yes, it was.
And he couldn't play shortstop there. I don't think Young Ho Gung would have had that one.
No, that's where the Gators came that time with a bit of a rush, and Ryan got flushed, and I think he was just trying to, normally he'd have run away from that, but he was trying to look downfield, and again, when he's on the run like that, it's hard to complete that pass across your body.
So now the Cats face 3rd and 10 from the 41 of Allegheny, and Horvitis, Howard, and Tajuden are wide to the left, and Jones, Paul Jones, the dangerous one, is in single coverage to the right. Straight back, Radke going to throw a screen. Daly's going to make the catch. He gets away somehow and gets a couple of yards, but it's going to be 4th down at the 39 or 38-yard line of Allegheny. We'll give him 2. It's going to be 4th down and 8. And do you send in Dylan Squires? I think you do.
That's where you got to play a little field position here. You got a 10-point lead with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. What you want to do is try to pin the Gators back here if you can, and maybe try for that coffin corner. What you don't want to do is you don't want to kick it to Mr. Smith.
Connor Paghetti, another freshman from State College, who's a very reliable snapper, is going to snap it to Dylan Squires back at the 46, and flags fly. So something didn't work right there.
That's okay. That one would have gone in the end zone. Let's get another one. Move it back a little bit.
Start by the Tomcats. Jeremy Stefine was the guilty party, I believe. At least I think 95 was called.
That gives him a little more room to work with on that coffin corner.
Okay. So Dylan Squires will be back at his 41 to punt the football. Single safety. Guess who? For Allegheny. Tyler Smith. Kick is away. Fair catch by Smith.
Good job.
At the 15-yard line. So punting game has not been any problem. The kicking game has not been any problem in general. They both held up well, Don. And it's a 10-point lead at 31-21 for Thiel over Allegheny at the 3:51 mark of the third period. And so far in period number 3, we're just exchanging possessions, aren't we?
Yeah, and what you saw is a lot of adjustments made at halftime. This is the first game of the season. The first half, I think both coaches would agree, got away from them a little bit. 52 points in the first half is not something either one of these two teams are used to. So what you saw some very good coaching at halftime, and both sides have made adjustments to shut down the other's strength. What we haven't seen is Ryan Radke run yet.
Yeah, we see Steve Kuzik in the ball game on the D-line for Revita, I believe, for Thiel.
Got to keep these guys fresh.
All right, is this Nigro the quarterback? Yes, it is, and he gives it to the tailback. And the little fella Campbell, who looks like he has a bit of a scoot to him, saw a little bit of daylight up to the 19-yard line, but it closed there after getting, we'll give him 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
Tell you what, if you're going to wear fluorescent green shoes as a running back, you better have a little scoot. Doesn't really go with the gold and blue motif of the Gators.
Well, he probably just likes those shoes.
It's called a uniform for a reason, people. Sorry. I'm old school. Jack's retiring. I'm old.
Nigro in the gun with 2 people in the backfield. Ditchler gets the ball, and he's got yardage across the 25 to the 27, and he has a first down. Tomcats were not expecting him to get the ball, but he got it and got about 8 yards and first down.
Tomcats need to get a little bit of fire on defense. These young kids are starting to get in the middle of their second half of their first game. It's time to step it up, and somebody needs to step up and make a play.
Yep, you don't want to be standing around on this 10-point lead.
You don't want to let these guys think they have a chance to win.
No, that's right. Tyler Noby is wide to the left. In the gun, Nigro. Nigro play fakes and goes straight back and going down the middle. He's got a man, and guess who? It's caught by Tyler Smith. And Smith has big yardage across the 45 down to the Thiel 43-yard line. Boy, that guy is dangerous.
Yeah, Aaron Mason's coming off a little shaken up on that play. I think he got rolled. This is what you don't want to do. You got to get somebody on that kid. He's not a big kid. He's not a fast kid. He's just a very good kid.
He gets open, and he knows what to do with it when he catches it. All right, Noby comes down here to the left, and he is joined by Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith has basically been the show along with Nigro tonight. Little blitz showed here by Thiel. Here's the give to Campbell, and Campbell's going to be nailed in the backfield. Stefan made the slow-down stop, and also in there to secure it was Steve Kazik for Thiel.
Yeah, Kazik, and also Riley Shane was the one who made the initial hit in the backfield, and Riley's been doing that a lot. He's been getting a lot of hits. He's just not getting credit for the tackles because he just can't get them down, and some of that is that weight loss. He's not as heavy as he used to be, so he's going to have to change his center of gravity a little bit, and I think you'll see that as the season goes on. But he's been playing a very good football game tonight.
6-yard loss at 2nd and 16 now for Allegheny back at the Thiel 49-yard line.
Let's cover Mr. Smith.
Yes, let's do that. John Nigro is in the gun.
Gators.
And are they going to call a time? They are, and we're going to take a time.
They're going to get a penalty right now.
They're going to get a penalty, so hang on. We're not going to take a break. It looks like it's a penalty, not a time.
12 men in the huddle.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, a guy ran off the field, and you can't do that. Oh, they're going to waive it. Called timeout before.
They're going to call a timeout, and we will take a timeout on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. First National Bank, the home for all of your financial solutions, from banking to investments to insurance. Call the Greenville branch of First National Bank at 724-588-6770. St. Paul's, a continuing care community, providing a caring tradition since 1867. Visit St. Paul's online at lifeatstpauls.org. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Matt Achenbach, Special Teams Coordinator and Defensive Backs Coach. Follow the Thiel Tomcats right here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Hugh Ringer and Don Achenbach back at Alumni Stadium. 105 period. It remains Thiel 31 and Allegheny 21 in a scoreless third period. Allegheny with the football just across the midfield stripe in Thiel territory, facing a 2nd down and 16 as play resumes. On the out-of-town scoreboard, some major college football scores. In case you didn't hear it earlier, Pitt defeated YSU in a wild shootout today, 45-37. Auburn beat Louisville today, 31-24. Arkansas a winner over UTEP, 48-13. Back is Nigro, and he's looking. He's getting late pressure, and he throws incomplete. Intending for his favorite receiver, I believe, Smith.
Yep.
Right there at the 34-yard line, but Riley Shane disrupted that play and almost got the quarterback.
Yeah, he made him change his throwing order, his throwing pattern a little bit, and they short hopped the ball into Smith.
So we need pressure like that again. The Tomcats take Kuzik out of the lineup and bring in, it looks like, an extra secondary man.
You know, what's interesting is the Tomcats have been getting pressure in this third quarter without bringing anybody from the outside.
Yeah, it's the front four. Let's see if they can get the pressure here. The linebackers look like they're going to be in coverage. Rolling to the right is Nigro, and he runs around. He's getting away from the guy over there, and it's thrown away out of bounds. Cody Wagner was running him down
from
the side, and Cody kept after him and caused that incompletion, I think. Now, let's see what they do. They're going to bring in the punter, and Chris Bourne will stand back at about his 35-yard line, and Trey Andrews is back in to receive this punt. The sophomore quarterback who...
that's kind of a funky formation.
What is this, a swinging gate of some sort?
Watch the fake.
The snap is high, and the kicker runs 3 steps, gets it away, bounces down inside the 15, going to be down at the 11-yard line. Well, he may not be pretty, but I'll tell you, he plays a good field position game. This punter for Allegheny, Chris Bourne, the senior.
He does that rugby thing where he takes a couple of side steps and then kicks it, and I'm not a fan.
No, but the Cats get the football back in not very good field position, 1st and 10. Let's see if there are any changes in the lineup. Looks like the Cats are bringing, as running back, back out, Evan Imgrant. Ronnie Howard wide to the right.
May see a little more Ryan
Jones
Radke
to the left. Under center is Radke. The give is to Imgrand, and Imgrand is going to dance for a few yards up to about maybe the 16, maybe the 17. We'll call it the 16-yard line, so we'll give them 3 at 2nd down 7.
I think the Gators have gotten onto the Tomcat running game, and they're starting to bring more people into the box. So when it's a matter of math. When you have 7 people trying to be blocked by 5 people, a lot of times the 7 guys will win, but that opens up other things. Now you look for your tight end. Now you look for screen passes and swing passes, and you always look for Ronnie Howard.
All right, here is Radke rolling left, stops, throws. He's got Jones at the 25, cuts it up to the 30 and loses the ball out of bounds. They knocked it out, and I'll tell you, they're going to knock that ball out of his hands because he carries that ball very loosely.
I'm not the great Karnak, but I see ball handling drills in his future.
I think they're going to have to be ball handling drills.
That's the quarter.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter. It's a scoreless one, but that's okay for Thiel because they're up by 10. 15 more minutes to go. Thiel 31, Allegheny 21 on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Seancey's Motel, located at 399 Mercer Road. Log on to Seancey'sMotel.com or call 724-588-8550 for more information. Remember to ask for the Thiel discount. And UPMC Horizon, life-changing medicine. Log on to UPMC.com. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more information about Thiel College, go to Thiel.edu.
I'm Ryan Matvico, wide receivers coach. You're listening to the home of Thiel Tomcat football. News Talk 790 WPIC.
Hugh Ringer and Don Achenbach back at Alumni Stadium, the season opener on a warm late summer evening in northwestern Pennsylvania. 15 minutes to go. 21 for Allegheny, 31 for the Thiel Tomcats. Let's see if they can protect or add on to this 10-point lead. Tomcats are faced with a 1st and 10 now at their own 31-yard line as they start this series. Quarterback Ryan Radke, after the first down by Paul Jones, is under center with an I formation behind him. Evan Imgrund is the tailback in this sequence for Thiel. They've been alternating 2 freshmen, and here comes Imgrund, and he circles the right side and shows some good quickness, crossing the 35 out to, let's see, about 38-yard line, 37. Let's see where they're going to put the ball down. I believe at about the 38-yard line. So that's a nice gain of 7. Make it 2nd and 3, Don.
And Hugh, looking at the stats at the end of the 3rd quarter, Kevin Daly in his debut for the Tomcats is only 6 yards away from the century mark.
Oh.
I'm sure we'll see him before the night's over.
94 yards. How many yards does Imgrund have?
25 now with that one.
Okay.
I'll make it 30 with that one.
All right. Under center again with an eye in the backfield is Radke on 2nd and 3. Ryan looks over the defense. He gives it off to Imgrund, and he gets to the secondary. He's at the 50, the 40. There he goes. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Evan Imgrund for Thiel. How about that? You know, Daly has quicks, but I'll tell you, Imgrund showed some quicks there, Don. He got through the first level to the 2nd level and kiss him goodbye.
And he's now 3 yards away from the century mark.
How about that? How far was that run?
68 yards.
68 yards by freshman Evan Imgrund.
And that may be a backbreaker.
Out of Claysburg Kimmel High School.
And boy, did he accelerate, Hugh.
Here's the kick by the young man that is no good, and all of a sudden, we miss our first extra point. That's okay, Colin Peel. We'll forgive you on that. It is 37-21. Thiel over Allegheny on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. TDA, Then Design Architecture, proud to provide architectural and design services for Thiel College. Log on to thendesign.com. Eckley's TV and Appliance Center, located at 672 Mercer Road in Greenville. Call 724-588-7690 or log on to eckleysappliance.com. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Ryan Matvico, wide receivers coach. You're listening to the home of Thiel Tomcat football. News Talk 790 WPIC.
A 68-yard run by Evan Imgrund, the freshman transfer, And I'll tell you, when Imgren got into the open, it was like he was a scared jackrabbit, and he had some kind of a serpent coming after him. He thought, I'm not going to be caught. They're not going to get me.
He looked like the anchor on a U.S. 4x100 relay team. He was accelerating through the finish line.
All right, Colin Peel kicks off. And it's going to be taken by the short guy for Allegheny, Jonah Tanner. And he's still on his feet at the 35, the 40. Get him down, boys. And he's up to the 45. Now, come on, that's a little bit of letting up on special teams.
That was a line drive kick, and those things usually come back a lot faster than they go. And I wonder if Colin's leg's tired. He's been kicking a lot.
He's coming over here. Is he limping a little bit?
No, he's just...
Colin Peel is a nice little kid. I enjoy talking to him. In fact, I think he knows that I'm the radio guy, so he knows it might be good to get in my good graces. And he comes up and chews the fat with me, and I've learned a lot about him, and he tells me how you can coach kickers. And
this is my ninth year.
He keeps telling me, he said, I'm bigger. And I said, okay, Colin, I'll take your word for it. He's about 5'4", 125 pounds.
New quarterback.
All right, anyway, the ball's at the 42, Allegheny's own 42, and we do have the new quarterback in the ball game, and it's the same young man who was in before, and with that football, Logan Lee running around and running up the middle and getting yardage across the 50 to the 48-yard line. Now, that's 9 yards. That's a little bit too generous by the Thiel defense.
Tomcats are going into that prevent thing. Now, I don't think they're planning on doing it, but I think psychologically they're going, okay, we got a 16-point lead. Things are going well, 13 minutes to go, but you got to suck it up. This, 16-point lead is only 2 scores.
That's right. Tyler Noby is wide to the left, and he's joined by Lucas Morton out to that side. He's been quiet for a while. All right, here is the give this time. No, it's a fake, and there's the pass to the big wide receiver I just, this moment, mentioned, Lucas Morton, and he just couldn't quite reach it at the Thiel 10-yard line. The coverage by Thiel wasn't too bad. Aaron Mason was the man in coverage.
Had him covered. What it was is, again, it was right over, instead of putting it over his shoulder, he put it right over his helmet. And that's a tough catch when you're trying to find the ball, because no matter how good and how many times you run it, your eyeballs are still bouncing when you run. And if you can't find the ball, it makes it tough to catch it.
All right, 3rd and 1 now at the 48 of Thiel. Deichler is in the backfield behind Lee. And Deichler's going to get the ball. And did he lose the football?
He
lost yardage to the 50-yard line. Was that Jeremy Steffine?
It was. He wrapped him up. He horse-colored him. He did everything but rope him up and brand him.
Jeremy Steffine, another freshman, folks, from Central Valley High School in Monaca, Pennsylvania.
Oh, they're going to punt.
They're going to punt the football after the big stop by Jeremy Steffine.
Think about this, folks. It was 2nd down and less than 2. They went for the big play, didn't get it, came back thinking they could easily pick up the 1st down. Jeremy Steffine stopped in it, rodeo lassoed the kid, put him on the ground. Now they have to punt.
Chris Bourne will do the kicking, and it's a bad snap. He gets it and gets a good kick away. Trey Andrews, fair catch back at the 6-yard line. You almost had it, huh?
Nah, stop playing video games, kids. You got to, when your feet are on the 10-yard line, let the ball go over your head. You don't make a fair catch at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, he did.
That thing was rocketing. That thing would have been by your car in the parking lot once it hit the ground, Hugh, and now they're setting up shop on the 5.
The only thing that would have been worse is if he'd have fumbled it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm glad he fair caught it, but that's when you teach you this thing. They used to teach it. You put your feet on the 10-yard line. If the ball's over your head, you don't try it. If they stop it on the 2, God bless them.
Well, you've got new kids in most key places
I understand.
on special teams, but we hope they learn a lot.
They will.
This is what you have in early games.
This will be a fun film
session. You don't expect a finished product. There'll be a lot to look at on video tomorrow, believe me. All right, Radke is going to give it off. And into the ball game is Daly, and he said, I watched my counterpart, Dipsy-Doo. I want a little bit of this, too. And did Daly cross the 100-yard mark with that run? Let's see.
Be real close.
Let's see where they're going to mark this football down. They're going to put it at the 9-yard line.
About 99 right now.
Okay, he got 3. It's 2nd and 7.
And please,
we may have 2
over 100.
2 freshman running backs who are going to go over 100 yards here today.
I don't know if that's ever happened.
I don't know. We've seen two Thiel runners in the same game.
Oh, sure.
Get over 100.
Couple, 3 or 4 times last.
Oh, yeah. Radke under center with an eye. Here's the pitch to Daly. Daly's going to cut it outside. There's 100. He's up across the 15 and down at about the 16-yard line, and I think it's a first down for Thiel, unless they're not going to give it to him. No, they're going to say, move those chains.
You want to know something even more interesting, Mr. Ringer?
What is that, Mr. Achenbach?
If Radke gets 19 yards, we'll have 3 guys over 100 yards.
Radke, well.
If he does one of those quarterback draws, and you know he will.
Oh, yeah.
He picks up 20 yards. We'll have 3 guys over 100 yards.
Okay, well, that would be impressive. That would be impressive.
Any league, that's impressive.
Yeah. All right, it's 1st and 10 for Thiel, and they're in the lead 37-21 with 11:18 on a turning fourth quarter clock and a flag fly.
False start, Tomcats.
Illegal motion on Thiel. So that'll cost them 5. It's going to be 1st and 15. All right, back on the out-of-town scoreboard, we see that Northwestern upset 21st-ranked Stanford today, 16-6.
I watched that game.
Yeah, Clemson defeated Wofford 49-10.
That young man who thought he was a Heisman Trophy candidate, watch that go out the window today.
Notre Dame is leading Texas 17-0 at halftime. The Biggie, Alabama 14, Wisconsin 7, second period. All right, here's the give now to Daly, and Daly fights his way for yardage across the 15 up to about the 17.5-yard line. So let's see, what's he get on that play? About 4 or 5?
Yeah, about 7.
Rob Thompson is coming in as a wideout for Thiel, replacing Ronnie Howard. Ronnie still's having a little bit of discomfort with that knee. Which
not quite himself.
Kurt Reiser, of course, said in the pregame Ronnie's going to have to learn to live with that probably for the rest of the year.
The rest of his life.
Well, probably. But anyway, 2nd and 8 now for Thiel. High formation behind Radke, who's been rather quiet in this half after getting dinged a little bit. Here's the pitch now to Daly. Daly's being chased and brought down at about the 19-yard line. Might have a couple of yards, and that'll be it.
Tomcats trying to run clock here. They've got 2 guys over 100, 1 guy close to 100. Why do anything silly? Let's just eat up the clock. Let's get out of Dodge. Go home with a win. Go ring the bell.
3rd and 8. Radke comes over to get the play from his offensive coordinator. Actually, he gets it from Kurt Reiser because the O coordinator, Darryl Satterfield, is well above us. I don't mean in heaven, but I mean up on the roof.
Well, he's heavenly.
Yeah, he is as a coordinator, as a young man, no doubt about it. All right, Radke is in the gun now, and he's back. He looks. He pauses. He is going to have somebody holding, I believe. He's going to run it up to the 32, but I don't think that's going to stand on.
No, they're going to bring it back. The only question is...
Kurt Reiser's upset. And he's letting some young man know about it.
That's one of the freshmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like high school.
It's Daly. It's Daly. Yeah, he's letting Kevin Daly know that, you can't do that.
Coachable moment.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Reiser will be the first one to hug him when the game's over.
Did they say 68?
68, yeah.
68. Well, that would be Mario Pajol.
This is a play right now where it's 3rd and about 18, where normally you would see Ryan do the quarterback draw, but we'll see with him having his bell rung a little bit there in the first half, see if maybe he's a little reluctant to do that. Look for Gervaitis, maybe.
Ronnie Howard wide to the right, joined by Tajudin. Gervaitis is out here to the left, and Radke is in the gun on 3rd down and about 17 yards to go.
Find your tight end.
He is back, and he's under the gun, and he's going to run. Quarterback draw. Here he goes. 25, 30, 35, 40. There's your 100.
The flag.
And I think there needs to be a flag. Wasn't he hit out of bounds there?
He was on it way out of the white. Doesn't matter. He's over 100 yards now, Hugh.
Yep, he sure is. Do the math, Don. Let's see where he is. They'll put it down at the 41-yard line. Thiel's own 41, 1st and 10. Maybe that's why there was no flag. He already ran out of bounds.
Yeah, but you're still not allowed to hit him, especially a quarterback.
No, right. Well, there wasn't any vehement argument on the Thiel bench down here. It was right where it happened. But now there's a timeout. We'll take a timeout on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. AVI Fresh, the exclusive food service provider for Thiel College, and CompDoc and the DocuCenter at Thiel College. Thiel College is proud to partner with the Blue Gold Club, AVI Fresh, and CompDoc and the DocuCenter. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Mike Donato, linebacker coach of the Tomcats. Follow the Thiel Tomcats right here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
8 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in this football game. Hugh Ringer, Don Achenbach at Alumni Stadium in Greenville. The game that kicks off the 2015 season for the Thiel Tomcats, and things are going pretty well right now. Thiel's leading 37-21 over the Allegheny College Gators.
We have Ed Topolewski and Kevin Fenstermacher running through the record books, seeing if we've ever had three running backs or three people over 100 yards rushing in one game.
Well, if Topolewski can't find it, Fenstermacher will. Former SID, Assistant Executive Director of the President's Athletic Conference.
Neither one of them remember three guys.
Well, if they don't, I think I know who our guests are going to be after this ball game.
Yeah.
All right. Quarterback Ryan Radke, one of those three, hands it off to...
Well, now if he's going to get tackled for a while...
Yeah, now Kevin Daly gets horse-collared, and not horse-collared, but grabbed by the jersey in the backfield at the 38, and he loses two, so...
Yeah, don't be doing that. You'll screw up our history.
Does that make it null and void?
No.
Okay, all right, just asking. We don't have totals. We just know that they're all over the century mark. And what we're talking about, folks, rather amazing night here. Two freshman running backs, Eric Imgren and Kevin Daly, have eclipsed the 100-yard rushing mark. And Ryan Radke, the quarterback, we believe has done same. 300-yard rushers on the same team. All right, here's Radke running around, escaping tackles, and he's going to go down for a loss back at the 32, and he's rolling around a little bit. Hey, he lost, about 7 yards?
That may have taken it away.
That may have taken his 100 away.
Especially if he can't play anymore. I think they're going to, looks like maybe an ankle.
Let's see. He's up. Yeah,
they're going to probably put him down.
He's okay.
7 minutes to go. You got a lot of football left. Well, he's staying in.
He shakes it off.
I'll tell you what, he's a tough kid.
He is really tough. He does not. I don't think I've ever seen a kid who does not want to come out of a football game.
I think what he's complaining about there is on the tackle, they twisted
his ankle
as he was going down, and that'll upset people.
Yes,
Ryan's not a shy guy. He's not going to.
No, he's not.
Tomcats are making some changes. They need to hurry.
Yes, they are. I'll tell you, they're going to have to rush here. All right, 4 wides on 3rd down and a bunch. It's 3rd down and about 18, 19. Radke back. He's going to release. He's going to throw. He's got Ronnie Howard at the 45. He's at the 40, the 30, the 25, and down goes Ronnie Howard.
What a move.
Sharon High, the captain of the offense, got open and put a big move on a defender, Don.
I'll tell you what a great pattern. Just crisp as you can be. Ryan put the ball right between the 1 and the 0, and then he made a move on the defensive back that just was something beautiful to see, folks. I'll tell you what, this offense is clicking tonight. This is a fun football game.
All right, the ball is on they're going to put it down to the 27, so he must have run out of bounds a little bit upfield here. All right, Rod Thompson is going to go wide right, joining Adam Tajuden. And Horvitis is down here to the left. Here's the give to Daly. Daly shakes a tackle and comes forward across the 25 to the 24.
I think with 5 minutes and 50 seconds going and the Tomcats heading for the red zone, I think you're going to get a major league dose of Mr. Daly.
Yep. Nick Murgo, the linebacker, shot the gap and thought he had a tackle for loss, but not with the quickness of Mr. Daly.
I'll tell you what, these two freshmen, you're watching them bloom before our eyes, guys.
Same receivers are out in the pattern. This time, though, Thompson is wide left. Daly, the single setback on 2nd down, 7. Ball at the 15-yard line. Here's the give to Daly, and Daly again comes ahead and is stopped, but keeps churning those legs and getting yardage down to the 22.
He should have been stopped in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss. He ends up turning it into a 1-yard gain just by sheer athleticism.
Yeah, these kids know how to run. And like I say, you've got Grant Seister, wearing number 23, standing down on the sidelines.
Waiting to come in.
Waiting in the wings to get in shape. And then we'll see him, I think, in a couple of weeks here. All right. 3rd down and about 5 for Thiel on the 22 of Allegheny. Here's the pitch to Daly. And Daly's at the 20. He steps out of bounds, and I think he's short of the first down at the 20-yard line. He is. It's going to be 4th and 2. And obviously, this is not Colin Peel territory here.
No, you want to run some more
So
clock.
you're going to run the clock. It's going to 4:25 as we speak. Thiel leading 37-21 in the season opener. Reminder, 7 o'clock airtime next Saturday night from West Virginia. It'll be the Thiel Tomcats and the Bethany Bison. They lost today, but boy, they lost to a powerhouse.
Yeah, I mean, they kept Mount Union under 50.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do.
That's right, and they have a pretty good ball club, and a flag flies. Illegal motion on Thiel.
Yeah, Gary Heiner lifted up before he was going on a quick count, and everybody else was going on a long count.
But that offensive line overall has done a pretty good job in this game. Mario Fagioli, Jake Swan, Rayshon Nevins, Manny Espinosa, and Gary Heiner left to right. And, you know, I don't know whether Kurt will stick with that group through the whole season or not. He loves to tweak his offensive line. He has a couple of freshmen that I know he's eager to get in there.
Hey,
I'll
Hugh.
mention their name, Brian Swansinger, a 250-pounder from New Middletown, Ohio, and Zach Young, a 270-pounder from North Versailles, PA. But he's got a good game out of them tonight. Time out on the field, 3:35 left. We'll take this break on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. The Greens of Greenville. Log on to greensofgreenville.com. And Ilsko Extrusions Incorporated, one of the industry's most efficient aluminum extrusion mills for more than 60 years, and proud to support Thiel College. Log on to ilskoextrusions.com for more information. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Kurt Reiser, head football coach. Follow the Thiel Tomcats right here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Hugh Ringer and Don Achenbach back at Alumni Stadium. 3:35 remaining in this one. The Tomcats are looking pretty good in terms of getting a season-opening victory here tonight, 37-21 over Allegheny College. The Gators made it a ball game for a while. It was a ball game at the half, but a big catch by the wide receiver, Paul Jones. Got to be one of the real big plays in this football game. All right, Radke is in the gun now on 4th down and 8.
Radke draw, watch for it.
From the 25-yard line. And I think the linebackers are looking for it, too. He's going to roll to the right. He's going to stop. He's going to throw. He's got his receiver. Is that Ronnie Howard? It is. 1st and 10. Another big catch. Howard has been the star on this series. He made the catch inside the 15-yard line at the 14. 1st and 10, Thiel.
When you think of Ronnie Howard, you're thinking clutch.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, Hugh, we talked about Pat Schaefer being the ultimate Thiel College student athlete. Ronnie Howard, how do you not proud of that kid?
You have to be exceedingly
proud. Had to drop out for a semester, came back, fought back. Just unbelievable. He's the epitome. He's what we think of when we think of Thiel student athlete.
We have another timeout by Thiel, and we'll take a 32nd time on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. First National Bank, the home for all of your financial solutions, from banking to investments to insurance. Call the Greenville branch of First National Bank at 724-588-6770. St. Paul's, a continuing care community, providing a caring tradition since 1867. Visit St. Paul's online at lifeatstpauls.org. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
This is John Herricle, defensive coordinator. You're listening to the home of Thiel College Tomcat football. News Talk 790 WPIC.
Hugh Ringer and Don Achenbach back at Alumni Stadium. 3:08 left on the fourth quarter clock. 37-21 Thiel. Cats are driving. They're inside the 15 at the 14. And Keonye Dennis, the freshman who has 2 touchdowns as the big back, is in the game for Thiel again, dotting the I. Radke under center. Long count gives to Dennis. Dennis hits the middle and spins around, gets a couple of yards down to about the 11-yard line.
Boy, he just moves the pile, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And I'll tell you, I think he's bigger than 5'10", 183. Don't you?
Well, I think so.
He looks like the biggest of the 3 backs we've seen tonight, and according to this, he's the next smallest.
I think one of his thighs is about 65 pounds.
Yeah. All right. This time, Rob Thompson goes wide to the right, Horvitis to the left, but the Cats, with 2:28 on the turning clock, are just going to run it here. They give again to Kiana, and he's inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line, where he's brought down. And is there a timeout called? Timeout, Allegheny, and we'll take another time on 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Sin Coach and Travel, proud to be the transportation provider for the Thiel Tomcats. Call 1-800-345-3435 or log on to goanderson.com. SCP Group, offering a wide selection of services including graphic design, offset and digital printing, wide format printing, mailing services, trade show materials, and digital marketing. Log on to scpgroup.net. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
I'm Ryan Matvico, wide receivers coach. You're listening to the home of Thiel Tomcat football. News Talk 790 WPIC.
2:22 remaining in this one. 37-21 Thiel. Cats are knocking on the door in the red zone. They have the ball down at the 9 of Allegheny, facing a 3rd and 5. And Don, you asked during the timeout, what do you do here? Do you just take a knee?
Well, it is Coach Reiser's alma mater.
But you still have 2:22 left, and Kiana gets the football. He's not going to get the first down. They're all over him. But he did make a little forward progress.
Well, if they're going
maybe
to be
down to the 6.
If they're going to be rude like that, let's go get some more points.
Well, and here comes some reinforcements. They getting a new kicker out there?
It's number 19.
Number 19 for Thiel.
Cody Dinger?
Well, Cody Dinger. No, wait. Cody Dinger's a backup punter, isn't he? He's going to try a field goal. Cody Dinger is going to try a
wonder if Field's dinged up.
23-yard field goal. The freshman from Girard High School in Erie. Schaefer the hold. The ball's down. The line drive kick is no good wide left.
Wonder if Field's dinged up.
Well, he could be a little bit. All right, so Cody Dinger misses the field goal, and it remains 37-21. The Tomcats in the lead at the 134 mark. But yeah, I don't know whether Colin is down there or not. It looked like he was limping around a bit the last time that he
standing right down there.
He's standing down there. Well, maybe they decided this was a good time to see what Cody could do. I think Cody is by the way, Cody Dinger is going to be a real good football player here at Thiel. He's a good wideout. Not very big.
He's definitely not very big.
Yeah, but he catches everything. And I think there's a little bit of Tommy McIntyre in that boy.
Yeah, about half of Tommy McIntyre.
Well, yeah, but Tommy was not that big.
Yeah.
But this kid, I think, is going to be a nice player. All right, running around is the quarterback, Nigro, and down he goes to the 20-yard line.
Riley Shane in the backfield again, creating havoc.
So it is going to be 2nd down and 10.
Keep that clock running, gang.
Clock runs to 1:10. Nigro with a 2nd and 10 is dropping back. He's looking. He's going to step up, but he has nowhere to go. And the Cats are pinning their ears back and going after him. Jeremy Stefine was in there.
Nick Ravita at the bottom of the pile.
Nick Ravita at the bottom of the pile. Stefine has had his share of action here tonight, and I'm glad to see that.
Well, I'll tell you, we could probably interview about 10 freshmen tonight.
Yeah, I think we could. All right, Nigro in the gun on 3rd down and 13 after the loss of 3. He's going to roll to the left. He's got somebody after him, and down he goes, back at the 10-yard line.
Riley
Shane, who's been all over the field, dominating as we would expect him to be, made that play for the Cats. And I think a lot of the Allegheny fans are saying, I've seen enough. I'm warm enough. I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, some Thiel folks looks like are leaving too. All right, straight back is Nigro. He takes time and throws, and that ball's caught, dropped up at the 23-yard line. Caught and dropped. Good coverage out there by one of the Tomcats, and that was Shane Russell.
Tomcats go to their favorite formation in the entire world, Hugh.
Yes, they do. They'll go to the
ring the bell formation.
Victory formation with 1:01 remaining in this ball game.
Flex Mundi Verbum D, right?
And let's see, Radke coming out. Yeah, Radke's going to come out.
Yeah, he's going to finish.
He's going to finish the ball game.
He's got to take a knee, and then he's got to talk a little bit.
Yeah. He's probably going to say to Allegheny, have a nice evening.
Yeah, we'll see here. We'll exchange Christmas cards.
We'll see you in court. Huh?
Who's the one that smacked me in the head? We'll talk.
Well, it is the victory formation, no doubt about it.
The victory bell formation.
Yeah. All right, Radke takes the knee. And we have just seconds remaining in this ball game. And ladies and gentlemen, the Thiel College Tomcats, for the second year in a row, go 1-0 as they take care of their backyard neighbors to the north from Meadville, Pennsylvania. If you want to stay tuned, we're going to have some very interesting guests up here in this booth live, plus the final statistics and more. The final score tonight, the Thiel College Tomcats 37, the Allegheny College Gators 21. Stay tuned for the postgame show on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Greenville Orthopedic Association and Doctors John Scullin and Stuart Anderson, specializing in the treatment of sports medicine, total joint surgery, and arthroscopic surgery. Call 800-245-8100 to make an appointment. And Greenville Moose Family Center, Lodge 276. Fun and fellowship for everyone. Log on to lodge276mooseunits.org. For more information, go to thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. McElhaney Brothers, Inc., general contractors, providing premier residential and commercial remodeling in Grove City, Hermitage, and Greenville. Call 724-638-7056 to discuss custom renovations. The Thiel College Blue Gold Club, proudly supporting Thiel College athletic programs since 1990. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more detail about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcats football and Thiel College athletics. The Greens of Greenville. Log on to greensofgreenville.com. And Ilsko Extrusions Incorporated, one of the industry's most efficient aluminum extrusion mills for more than 60 years, and proud to support Thiel College. Log on to ilskoextrusions.com for more information. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu.
Thiel College would like to thank the following businesses for being generous supporters of Tomcat football and Thiel College athletics. Seancey's Motel, located at 399 Mercer Road. Log on to seanceysmotel.com or call 724-588-8550 for more information. Remember to ask for the Thiel discount. And UPMC Horizon, life-changing medicine. Log on to upmc.com. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more information about Thiel College, go to thiel.edu.
This is John Herrickle, defensive coordinator. You're listening to the home of Thiel College Tomcat football. News Talk 790 WPIC.
Welcome back to Alumni Stadium, folks, on a warm summer evening that turned out to be a very good summer evening for the Thiel College Tomcats as they walk off the field, go down into the end zone, getting ready to ring the bell in victory as they defeat the Allegheny College Gators tonight, 37-21. And we have the stat sheet, and Don Achenbach has it in hand. As we mentioned, we're hoping to have some guests up here in the booth very shortly. We have asked for the two freshman running backs, Kevin Daly and Evan Imgrund, to come up here.
How's this for a debut for a new offensive coordinator in Daryl Satterfield? 73 plays, 558 yards of total offense.
That's
wow.
Pretty impressive.
334 yards rushing, 224 yards passing. Good job, Daryl Satterfield.
Well, he just stopped to say hi to us, and we complimented him on the great job that his backup quarterback, Pat Schaefer, did
we did come
today.
We did come up a little short with the three guys for 100 yards. Kevin Daly ended up with 120 yards. Radke ended up with 113 yards, and Evan Imgrund ended up with 91 yards. So
that's
9 yards short.
Yeah, pretty doggone impressive.
Nice job. 558 yards of total offense. I think any coach in the world will take that.
Well, Don, go ahead and take a look at some of the other stats. And I know that the freshmen are going to be very dominant on these stats.
Yep.
And I know you know who they are. So
I do.
Let our listeners know if they're a freshman when you give their numbers.
Kevin Daly, 19 carries, 120 yards. Ryan Radke, 9 carries for 113 yards. Evan Imgrund, freshman, 9 carries for 91 yards. Keona Dennis, I believe, is he a freshman too?
Yes, he is.
6 carries for 39 yards, but 2 touchdowns. Ryan Radke, 11 for 18 for 142 yards and a touchdown. Pat Schaefer in relief. What a great job. Can't say enough. This game was in the balance when Ryan was still in doubt when Ryan got dinged. And Pat Schaefer came in and really did a great job. 7 of 10 for 82 yards and 1 touchdown. Paul Jones' freshman debut, 4 catches for 63 yards and a touchdown. Alex Orvalides, 4 catches for 58 yards. Kevin Daly, not only 120 yards rushing, he had 3 catches for 15 yards. And then Ronnie Howard, what can you say about the senior? He's not a freshman, but I'll tell you what, he had 5 catches, 4 of them on the last drive to put the game away for the Tomcats and ate up the clock. Defensively, freshman Doak Walker Jr., 6 tackles, 2 assists for a total of 8. Shane Russell had 7, Jake Elk had 7, and Aaron Mason had 4. Tomcats did a great job. Allegheny, the leading rusher, had 26 yards. Nigro, 7 of 13 for 160 yards. Hi, guys.
How's it going, guys? We're going to get to you in a minute, so just... Okay. We're going to put the headset on a couple of young men here. Do we have another mic? All right, we'll just share the... have a seat here, guys. You did all the work. I've been standing all night. You've been running, so have a seat. Yeah, I hear that victory bell. How do you like the sound of that victory bell, guys?
Love it. Want to hear
Pretty nice, isn't it? Every game. That's right now. Folks, you're going to get to know these guys very well, I think, from what we saw tonight. By the way, I'm Hugh Ringer, the voice of the Tomcats, and we called your names tonight. We got Kevin Daly seated over here. He has the headset on. I'm going to talk to him first. And Evan Imgrund is seated right beside me. And I want you to introduce yourselves to this audience here tonight, guys, and tell a little bit about yourselves. Now, I understand that you're both transfer students. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to start with you, Kevin Daly. You're a transfer from where?
I transferred in from Slippery Rock.
Slippery Rock, okay. Now, I got to ask you this question. It's a little confusing to me. You played at Oil City High School, am I right?
Yep.
And you ran, I think, for close to at least 1,000 yards your senior year at Oil City?
Yeah, close to 1,500 yards.
But your hometown is Sharon, Pennsylvania.
Yep, that's where I'm at now.
Okay, so you live in Sharon, but you went to Oil City High School.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, I watched your style tonight, and you have some quicks.
Thank you.
That's one of your calling cards, is it not?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I was terribly impressed with what you did tonight, Kevin. I don't know whether you heard your stats or not.
No.
All right, this is going to bring a smile to your face. 19 carries, 120 yards.
Wow.
That's a net of 115. You lost 5 somewhere along the line, and a long of 32 with an average of Wow. Now, that's pretty doggone good, even though you're not a true freshman, but you're a freshman, that still is pretty doggone good.
Yep.
Now, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think that you'd have that stat line here tonight?
No, sir. I mean, I just got to thank the guys up front, the O-linemen. You know, they get it done for us. They really work hard, and, you know, all the applause go to them. They really got me the openings and looks.
Yeah. Well, you know, I got to tell you, Coach Reiser kind of told me late about you. Your name wasn't on the original roster, I don't think. And after I come up the first day of practice, he said, "Nah, there's another running back you need to put on your list. His name's Daly." And I thought he told me you were from Oil City and had 1,000 yards. And then I couldn't find out who you were. But I know who you are tonight. I'll bet you're glad to be here at Thiel.
Yeah, it's been wonderful so far. I've had a good time.
And you had a lot of fun tonight, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, we did.
You really did. Dawn, anything you'd like to ask Kevin? Well, I'll tell you, you really show a lot of quicks, and you have a little bit of power, too, don't you?
Yeah.
Anything in your game that you think you can't bring?
I don't know. There's a lot of work. You know, there's a lot of work for the end of the season. You know, I just got to keep coming out in the practice field and turning it into the game and keep going 110%.
Now, you're listed at 5'9", 190.
Yes, sir.
And you run very, very hard, and you have that forward lean that all the good backs have. And I asked Coach in the pregame, I said, "Are we going to be looking for a running back by committee here starting tonight?" And he said, "I think we're going to be able to do that." And with you two guys, and then you bring in big old number 34 off the bench to score touchdowns. Thiel, you know, has been pretty good at that. And you have another guy who's probably going to be playing pretty soon, Grant Seister, who has some pretty good numbers as well. You guys are going to be quite a tandem.
Yeah, we just got to stick together and keep working harder.
That's right. And maybe you all bring a little bit of a different game in some respects, and that can always be good, and you're all going to be fresh.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it was great to talk to you, Kevin Daly, and we wish you best of luck, continued success, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week down at Bethany College in West Virginia. Now, how about taking that headset off and handing that over here to your mate who got the start tonight? And I'll tell you, it probably doesn't matter who starts, but Evan Imgren was the starter. Now, Evan, you're a transfer also, right?
Yes, sir.
From?
Cal U.
What, pardon me?
Cal U, California University.
Oh, Cal U of PA. Now, was Paul Jones there?
Yes, he was.
So you knew Paul before he came?
We were friends at Cal U, yes.
Hey, I'm telling you, you guys are quite a pair to come in here and juice up this offense.
Yes, sir. That's what we're trying to do.
And you came at the right time. Now, did you know, by chance, when you reported to camp back in August, that last year's starter, Taylor Fink, was not coming back to school?
No, I had no idea. I expected him to be here.
But when he wasn't here, that created another opportunity, and not that you'd be happy that somebody didn't come, but you look at that opportunity and you say, that's a chance for me.
Yeah, yes, sir. When I came to camp, I had the mindset that I wanted to put my name in the running to be the two or one back, and I was willing to compete against whoever showed up.
Sure. Well, you certainly competed tonight, and I know early on it looked like you were more of an inside guy, and your partner Daly was more of a quick outside guy. But wait a minute. What'd you show us in the second half there? You took a handoff, you got to the second level, and you took that son of a gun 62 yards. And I said it looked like some kind of a wild animal was following after you, and you said, "I can't let that thing catch me." Is that kind of the mentality you have when you see all that daylight?
Yes, sir. I want to take it to the end, and I'm a patient runner.
A patient runner.
I'm fast. I can break one.
Okay. Well, you certainly showed us that today. Now, you are from, let me get the school right here, Claysburg Kimmel.
Yes, sir.
Claysburg, PA. Can you tell us approximately where that is?
Altoona, PA. It's about 15 miles south of there.
So you're down by Tyrone?
No, still south.
No. Oh, okay.
Between Altoona and Bedford.
But it's a pretty good football area, isn't it?
Yeah, we have decent football, yes.
I know some teams have come out of that area and given some pretty good football teams some up here fits. Now, tell us about your stats in high school. Were you a 1,000-yard runner?
No, I only had a little over 200 yards my senior year. I tore my labrum.
Oh, you did?
Only had about 30 carries.
So you spent how many weeks on the injured list?
They actually moved me. I played mostly defense because they just.
Were you a corner?
No, I was an outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker. So they moved you from outside linebacker.
I actually started both ways, but they didn't, after I tore my shoulder, we had another back that was pretty good. They gave him the carry.
Okay.
So he actually was a 1,000-yard back the next year. He's at Lock Haven now.
So you are 100% now with your shoulder problem, and you embrace the opportunity to play running back here at Thiel.
Yes, sir.
And you know about the tradition that they have here at Thiel? Anybody told you about Steve Minton?
No.
Well, you need to find out about Steve Minton on the undefeated 2005 team. He was a real stud. And then Danny Hess, who followed him, and he was about 5'7", 195 pounds, and we gave him a nickname, the human bowling ball. And, you know, you keep playing like you're playing right now, we're liable to give you a nickname. Do you have a nickname?
No.
Well, we may come up with something for you guys, because I think you guys are really going to be special. This had to be an exciting night for you. Did you see your line tonight?
No, I did not.
All right, let me look it up here. Rushing, Evan Ingram, 9 carries, 91 yards, a net of 91, but you had an average of 10.1 and a long of 62. We kind of thought you had 100, and I don't know if the stat key might have been a little bit in error or not, but it says 91.
I'll get 100 next week.
That's the attitude. That's the attitude. Well, you guys are showing us a lot, and I don't have to tell you that Thiel's mantra is they win football games by possessing the football, running the football, keeping the defense on the side. And that all comes down to the offensive line and to you guys. And I bet you were pleased with that offensive line tonight.
The offensive line blocked great tonight. There was fools everywhere. There was cutback lane. I didn't have to do too much work as soon as I got the ball to get into the open field. Once I got into space, I just had to make a move and get going.
Well, you showed quickness, and the other thing we noticed early on, quick feet. And that's a sign of a good running back. Well, Evan, nice job tonight. Keep it going. Let's get 100 next week for sure down in Bethany.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Guy, we'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir.
The 2 freshman running backs joining us, Kevin Daly, Evan Imgrund, here on 790 WPIC, and they rushed for almost, over 200 yards collectively.
Them, yeah.
So it was a big night for the freshmen and a big night for Ryan Radke, and we're never surprised there.
Nope.
Pretty big night for Ronnie Howard. He had some good statistics. A couple of other freshmen were standouts on defense. Riley Shane had a Riley Shane night, so 37-21, good night for the Thiel College Tomcats.
Well, if you go back to what Coach Reiser said about having Riley Shane make those exceptional plays all night long, you saw that tonight. He was in the backfield almost as much as the Allegheny quarterback was, and just keep pushing that up. He's got some stable mates now that are really high-class thoroughbreds, and this defense is going to just get better and better and better.
Yes, it certainly is, and that makes it pretty nice for the future. But, of course, it doesn't get any easier. In fact, it's going to get harder when you go down to play Bethany. We know that's a tough place to play. We've had some bad experiences down there in terms of some bad losses. But this team will be down there trying to turn this thing around next week, and then Thomas More in Kentucky the following week. But
let's enjoy this one tonight.
That's
and
exactly
tomorrow
right.
We'll start working about Bethany. Bethany has such a good program. Last year, they're such a high-class school. There's a nice school from top to finish down there. Beautiful facilities these days, and Kevin Fenstermacher's alma mater. And they're going to come ready to play. They didn't have a fun day today against Mount Union, and, but the fact that they kept Mount Union under 50 tells me there's some skill down there.
Yeah.
And we're going to have our hands full, and we got to get there's a lot. The nice thing about this game, it was a nice win for the Tomcats, but there's still an awful lot that the coaches can teach off of. And,
special teams.
Scored 37 points, but we probably left 16 or 18 on the field.
There's no doubt, and that happens in opening games for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
But on balance, good performance. We'll take it and move on from here at 1-0. Well, Don, I want to thank you for your expert analysis tonight. We have some other folks we want to thank. Obviously, we hadn't even mentioned yet that we could not make this broadcast at all possible if it weren't for Bob Greenberg, our sports director and sales manager, who does everything to make this possible. Aaron Byro was our producer back in the studio. Aaron, as always, did an excellent job running the controls of the 747 at 2030 Pine Hollow Boulevard. thanks to the sports information staff here at Thiel, Director Ed Topolewski and Assistant Director Cyril Parham. Head coach Kurt Reiser and Thiel assistant coaches, always very cooperative with us. Jack Leipheimer, the retiring director of athletics, who joined Don Achenbach for a great discussion at halftime, thanks to him. And we thank the Allegheny College Sports Information Department for all that they do. So, Aaron Byro and Don Achenbach and I will join you on the airwaves. Aaron, of course, will be in the studio. We'll be down in Bethany next Saturday night. Airtime 6:30, kickoff 7 o'clock. The Thiel Tomcats and the Bethany Bison. This is also not, I believe, a PAC conference game.
PAC team, but not a PAC.
Yeah, it's a non-conference matchup.
It'll be a test.
Yes, it'll be a test, and we'll be there to bring it to you live. So join us Saturday night, 6:30, from Bethany, West Virginia. So speaking for Don Achenbach, this is Hugh Ringer saying good night from Alumni Stadium in Greenville, where the Allegheny Gators go home 0-1. The Thiel Tomcats 1-0. They rang the bell as the result of a 37-21 victory over Allegheny tonight. We'll talk to you next Saturday here on News Talk 790 WPIC.
Thiel College Tomcat Football has been brought to you by 1, 2, 3, 3. Seance's Motel, Restaurant, and Lounge. UPMC Horizon, life-changing medicine. Log on to upmc.com. Greenville Orthopedic Association. Greenville Moose Family Center, number 276. SCP Group, located in Sharon. Online at scpgroup.net for more information. Anderson Coach and Travel. Visit them online at goanderson.com. Thiel College Blue Gold Club, proudly supporting Thiel athletic programs since 1990. First National Bank, the home for all your financial solutions. St. Paul's, a continuing care community, providing a caring tradition since 1867. Visit St. Paul's online at lifeatstpauls.org. The Gallery Grill and the Greens of Greenville. Visit them online at greensofgreenville.com. ABI Fresh, proud food service provider for Thiel College. Partners Comdoc and the DocuCenter at Thiel College. Biddle & Company. Visit Biddle & Company online at biddle-co.com. And Ilsco Extrusions Incorporated. Ilsco has operated one of the industry's most efficient aluminum extrusion mills for more than 60 years. Thiel College is proud to include these fine local businesses among its list of partners. For more details about Thiel College, log on to thiel.edu. Today's game has been produced by Aaron Byro and Dave Winters. Today's executive producer is Bob Greenberg. Our game announcers were Hugh Ringer and Don Achenbach. Thanks for listening to Thiel Tomcat Football. WPIC will now return to our regularly scheduled program.